Coach, I'm getting pumped up myself. I think I'm ready to play. Do you need a defensive tackle today?
We need a couple of them. We'll let you have all the snaps you want.
Hey, Tim, it might be a little late getting back up to the booth.
That's the view that Tommy Tuberville and Dave Rowe had earlier today. It's the world's largest mid-morning picnic, and you could say it's an SEC monster matchup here in the Magnolia State.
Today's Bell South SEC Game of the Week is brought to you by Bell South. It's all here. By Nationwide Insurance. Check the yellow pages for the Nationwide agent nearest you. By CarQuest Auto Parts Stores. For the CarQuest store nearest you, call 1-800-492-HEART. By Duckhead. Traditional casual clothing since 1865. Life's a road trip. Pack your Duckheads. By Mazda. Experience cars and trucks built with a passion for the road. Mazda. And by Sonic, where we invite you to drive in for a change.
Babonzito. Oh, parce que me voulait faire jeune gens, même gens y est là.
Language. It's how we communicate with each other. But not all of us speak the same one. So at Bell South, we have people you can reach who speak several languages, whether it's Creole or even English.
I'm so glad you have me good.
Bell South, it's all here.
First day, my new boss throws me the keys.
Get it fixed, kid.
So I took it to Charlie. Guy's a real pro.
Let's get the parts.
Charlie says to be the best, you gotta use the best. Like dependable Autolite spark plugs from CarQuest. Autolites are the key to sure starts and smooth running engines.
Relax, it's done.
Did you get the car fixed, kid?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you get the parts?
CarQuest?
Welcome to the pros, kid.
It's back. SE5.
Gotta go for a ride.
Customized with air, bedliner, cassette stereo, sliding rear window, alloy wheels, and chrome bumpers.
Yeah,
Mazda SE5.
Let me go for a ride.
Just $11,995 or lease for $189 a month, $1,000 down.
Just let me go for a ride.
Mazda.
Got a passion for the road.
The legendary SE5.
Announcing Vic Bailey Ford's blockbuster model clearance.
The one time a year when we beat even our own best Vic Bailey prices.
Explosive deals on the popular Ford Taurus.
Fully equipped.
No money down. $299 a month.
$299 a month.
96 model Vic Bailey Fords must be and will be sold.
Truly the best buys of the year.
But hurry.
They're going fast.
Blockbuster savings on the entire 96 inventory.
From your #1 Ford store.
Vic Bailey Automotive Superstore.
Spartanburg and Union.
This was the scene on Thursday, a stone's throw from the Grove. In the center of the Ole Miss campus, they had a magnificent pep rally. They are as pumped up about their college football. This is a team on a roll. They've won 5 of their last 6 games, carrying over from the end of last year and their first 2 non-conference wins this season. And after the walk on the Grove, they make their way out here to Vaught Hemingway Stadium for this first SEC game of 96. And downstairs, our broadcast partner, Bob Kessling. Bob?
Tim, some things to be watching downstairs here is, one, the Ole Miss defense. Basically, it's a thin group. They've had 6 players switch positions from last year. We'll see how long they can go today. Also, Ole Miss will try and confuse Auburn a little bit with its offense. They're going to show several formations before the snap of the ball to see how Auburn's defense adjusts to see if they can confuse them. Also, a key also in the game is Auburn's linebackers. They might be the best in the country. Marcellus Mostella leads the way. Another key for Ole Miss, it's not as hot as they might have been. In fact, the temperature has been in the mid-80s today, creeping up a little bit, but still, it shouldn't affect Ole Miss's depth too much today because it's kind of a cool day.
It is, and that will be very important to the plight of this team. 72 degrees, wind not much of a factor, and forecast is for the fair skies to continue. Well, Terry Bowden, we touched on the unbeaten season in his first year, the only Division 1A coach to win his first 20 games. His record now in his 4th year, 35-1. Jared Holmes, the veteran who handles both the punting and the kickoff chores, is ready to kick. That's Taboris Fisher. He had a punt return for a touchdown last week. He's joined by another speedster, John Avery. and it will come very deep into the end zone. Avery elects to take a knee, and it's 1st and 10 for Ole Miss at the 20-yard line. And the veteran quarterback who waited a long time for his opportunity, Paul Head. And you could say, if you'll pardon the pun, he's a heady quarterback. This is a young man that makes quality decisions. You see the numbers for him out of Vestavia Hills High School in Birmingham, Alabama. And the rest of that starting lineup that he brings out, Artie Moore, who transferred over from LSU, joined by Fisher. They want to get him the ball quite often today. Roan is a speedster. Up front, the offensive line is anchored by Edwards and Matt Luke, who's only taken 20 snaps. This is the exploitable area of this Ole Miss offense, their offensive line. A quick drop for Head, and the out pattern is complete. That's Rome up to the 29-yard line. Andre Rome, junior college transfer out of Daytona Beach, Florida. The Auburn defense, as noted, perhaps the best linebacking core, young linebacking core in college football. Takeo Spikes and Marcellus Mostella, both Butkus candidates this year. And the secondary, led by Martavius Houston. He's only a sophomore, has a pair of interceptions, one in each of the prior games played by Auburn against UAB and last week against Fresno State. 2nd down and 1. Nothing doing on the ground, trying the right side. Moore stopped by Takeo Spikes. The Auburn Tiger faithful, well represented, as you might expect. And look at that, 18 tackles this season for Takeo Spikes.
Boy, he's got great speed, Tim. When he fills the hole just like that, he makes that decision, just slashes up through there and takes the receiver or the running back down.
3rd down and 2. Ole Miss does not have the power running back. And because of that, sometimes the 3rd and short yardage situations will be the most difficult today. 4 wide receivers. And the pass is batted down. Suttle got through there. It may have been Shannon Suttle, the junior from Lafayette, Georgia, that got his big mid up there to knock it down.
Well, it's just a two-step drop. Watch this real quick. He wants to hit the receiver coming off the line, and what happens is he gets one of those big linemen right up in his face. There was no place for Head to step forward and find his receiver. I think it was Shuttle.
Robert Baker drops back deep, and that's Randall Green who will punt it away. They will alternate, he and Kevin Cooper, with the punting chores for Tommy Tuberville's team. And that's Baker. Robert Baker gives Auburn outstanding field position for their opening drive at the 44-yard line, and they could likely go no huddle. They did last week. So we give you the lineups behind Damian Craig. Fred Beasley is the veteran tailback. Goodson has become the go-to guy, with Willie Gaucher unavailable due to NCAA academic requirement problems. And the line up front, Gino James, James Kiger, along with Leonard Thomas. And there is Craig. This is a guy that they used in short yardage situations only when Patrick Nix was with this team. But now he's picking up large chunks, as evidenced last week. A career game for him against Coach Sweeney's Fresno State club. And they go with 3 wide receivers out of the eye. Craig with time. And he finds Baker beyond midfield to the 48-yard line. Defensively, after a gain of 9 yards, Ole Miss looks this way. They line up with Kyle Wicker. They have 6 changes, players that were on the defensive side of the ball that have moved to different locations this year. Derek Jones is the corner, well worth watching today. He wears the Chucky Mullins number 38. Up the middle, not much.
Boy, that was a hit up front. That may have been Trainer in there as number 72. He was starting in place of David Evans. I mean, but I see Evans, number 60, in there.
Kevin McLeod carried, picked up very little. There's the middle linebacker, Nate Wayne, stacking it up. He's one of the many changes they made, moving from the outside position to middle linebacker. 1st down and 10 after that negligible gain at the 46-yard line of Ole Miss. Fred Beasley hit behind the line of scrimmage.
And that was Wilson on that play. You talk about driving the offensive guard in the backfield. Wilson, number 90, just drove him in the backfield. Watch to the right of your screen. Look at the penetration, and he hits the back in the backfield, about 2 yards deep. Quentin Wilson, senior out of Queens, New York, Nassau Community College.
They have become more of a worldwide recruiting team here at Ole Miss. They'd love to keep more of the blue chip talent in state. Pattern thrown for the sidelines, and it's incomplete. Ronnie Hurd, the strong safety, was over there to provide coverage.
Tim, that was a blitz play, safety blitz. So evidently, Ole Miss is saying, hey, if you're going to throw it, you're going to throw it in a hurry.
3rd down and 12. Ole Miss is stacking a lot of defenders in the box, aren't they?
Yeah, that's exactly what they told us. They said if they get 6 in the box, we'll run. If they have 7 or more in the box, we're going to pass.
Shotgun formation for Craig. Looping it downfield, incomplete. Pass was intended for Tyrone Goodson, 83, junior out of Brooksville, Florida. And you can see Strickland down there. He was pretty puffed up. The safety, the free safety.
No, this pass was thrown in desperation. You can see as he's coming off the ball. Look how far the ball is thrown. And that's because the pressure on Craig was just incredible. They're coming off that line. They know they're going to pass in that situation, and they're flat out just coming off the ball trying to get that penetration.
Holmes to punt it away. Fisher back deep, standing at his 10. And he'll reel it in right there. Look out, he is quick. He fumbles. Auburn's got it. And that is exactly what Ole Miss could not afford to have happen early. Quentin Reese is on top of it.
Well, this is just ripped out of his hands when he's going to run over. Now watch, he's going to take a little stutter step now. Come up. Now watch, he doesn't put the ball away. One hand right there, and he's one of the best punt returners in the nation, and he gets stripped of the ball.
And it was Reese. It came away with a recovery. 1st down 10. Auburn now at the 18-yard line of Ole Miss. Baker at the bottom of your screen. And an audible forthcoming here from Damian Craig. And markers fly. May have run out of time.
Yeah, they did. The clock, and that's exactly what Ole Miss was saying. They were pointing at the clock in the end zone saying, hey, they'd run out of time. But you just can't give a team like Auburn opportunities. You can't allow them to have a 1st down on your 18-yard line, not after your defense has made such a marvelous stand. Emotion is going to be a big part of this game. There's not a person in red sitting down when their team's out there, and they've got to play with that emotion. They've got to eliminate mistakes.
1st down, 15, ball at the 23. Out of the shotgun again. Craig, well, they bottle him up, and the pass incomplete. Nate Wayne and Ronnie Hurd, the strong safety, coming on the blitz, giving the pressure there. Very important to keep Damian Craig under wraps when he tries to get outside contained.
Yeah, what they did is he got outside, but you see number 2 there, Ronnie Hurd. He just comes in and forces the pass. What they're going to do, obviously the game plan is to put a lot of pressure on Damian Craig. Don't allow him to run. And when he does pass, make him hurry his passes. Hope that you can stay man-to-man coverage on the outsides because they're selling out with the linebackers.
Karsten Bailey at the top of your screen. Baker at the bottom. Goodson is in the slot right. Fade pattern for Baker. Caught. Touchdown, Auburn.
Wow, was that close in the end zone. That fade route is so tough for the defensive back because he has to look back at the ball. He can't really look back at the ball until the last second. Watch the feet. See if, in fact, he gets the foot left of your screen. Watch this when he goes up high for the ball. Now he's looking back. Now the defender comes back. There's the foot down. Perfect call by the official in good position to make that call.
Derek Jones, one of the more physical corners on this Ole Miss team. They have a lot of confidence in him in man-to-man situations. But Damian Craig, a very athletic quarterback, makes it count early in Oxford.
Come on, baby. Show your stuff. Work it hard for me, baby. Can't get enough.
Nice shot.
All the
Who's next?
boys, they're watching you. You really work it, woman. You know that's true. And when you do, you'll be my little baby blue.
Hey up, boys.
We keep you moving, we keep you moving.
At BP, we know the best part of life is not spent at a gas station. That's why everything we do, from our world-class fuels to BP credit cards, from pay at the pump to BP shops, we do to keep you moving.
We keep you moving, we keep you moving, we keep you moving, we keep you moving.
Last Saturday, my wife Lisa and I went shopping. We're not paying any attention. That's when it hit me. What would happen to our family if Lisa weren't around anymore?
Well, recently I've been trying to get Dave and Lisa to review their life insurance.
We then called Kim. She's our nationwide insurance agent.
Lisa now has the life insurance she needs.
Sometimes I think about what almost happened. But thanks to Kim, I don't worry about what might happen.
Nationwide is on your side.
Okay, you're the ketchup boy. When you see a burger, you squirt the burger. Ketchup, burger. Any questions?
Do I ever make it without ketchup?
At Sonic, we make it any way you want it. Like our made-to-order Sonic Burger and made-from-scratch onion rings. Right now at a special low price. So break away from the ordinary and drive into Sonic.
Sonic, driving for a change.
Terry Bowden's team with a 7-0 lead as they take advantage of the turnover by Taboris Fisher on the punt return. Robert Baker, his first touchdown reception of the year on a quick striking scoring drive. 2 plays, 18 yards, only 14 seconds off the clock. Jared Holmes once again to kick off, and Taboris Fisher and John Avery back deep. This is coming down to Avery at the end zone. He's got tremendous speed, but he is bottled up in a hurry. Number 31 for Auburn, Charlie Rose, a reserve fullback, there to haul him down after a 21-yard return for the Rebels.
And Tim, it's really important for Ole Miss to come out and establish something on offense. You know, they got that 9 yards on that first down, and then weren't able to get the continue that first down.
Tommy Tuberville and this Ole Miss staff very much aware of the fact that they could ill afford turnovers early. They needed a quality start in this game. Get the crowd back into it. And the inability to rush the football when in short yardage situations could be a real problem for them. We got an early indication that Auburn's defensive front was up to the task in the early series. Head flushed out of the pattern and down the sidelines, complete to Avery. This is a young man that's only been practicing for about 3 weeks. They had to wait for his transcripts from junior college. He had to first graduate before beginning to work out.
Yeah, and this is just a little dump pass out in the flat. The backer who has him doesn't pick him up. And that's got to make Tommy Tuberville happy.
One of the things Tommy Tuberville has established here, though, is getting away from the junior college player, with exceptions for outstanding talents at skilled positions. Avery is one of those, as is Andre Rome. Mangan lines up now on the left side. That usually means they'll run that way, and Auburn's up to it. Look at that. Look at that lateral speed, sideline to sideline. Ryan Taylor, the free safety, sophomore from Dublin, Georgia, is over there. Remindful of Alabama's ability last week against Southern Mississippi when you try to come off the corner.
Well, it's awfully hard once you dip in there to get back outside. You see number 6, Ryan Taylor, come in there. He's the free safety. He's running with the football. Once he establishes its run, he fills strong to the outside, and you're not going to get around him.
Second down, 14. They go with 4 wides again, no tight end. Avery. Another example as they try to go wide side. You're just unable to do it. This time Martavius Houston comes up from strong safety to make the stop. Bill Oliver left Alabama well documented, and one of the reasons, the speed of this Auburn defense.
Oh, yeah, and anytime you go to the outside, see, they have what they call corner force. The corner force comes outside, forces the man back inside, and that safety comes up. This time it was strong safety. Houston coming straight ahead.
Bill Oliver, somebody Tommy Tuberville knows all too well about. Tuberville was a coach on that Miami team that was snuffed out in the national championship game of '92 when Oliver was defensive coordinator at Bama. This pass is incomplete. Boy, a diving attempt by Fisher. Comes up empty at midfield. Pretty good throw, though, by Head.
And that's surprising because Fisher really, he's the catcher coming out of the backfield to Boris Fisher, number 10. It's a well-thrown ball. I think he just misjudged the sideline. See if, in fact, he doesn't jump, trying to drag those feet and concentrate on keeping that foot in. See, he had a lot of room.
There's Larry Melton, 2 block punts in consecutive weeks. He is the designated suicide man for Terry Bowden's team. This punt is a dandy. Driving Baker inside the 15. And down at the 10. Garrett Jones, the first to wrap him up. A 53-yard punt and a loss of 4 on the return. 7-0 Tigers. Back after this word from your local SEC station.
So as business owners, what do you expect from a bank? To understand the needs of my business.
Understand your business? Well, it'd be great if they just knew your name.
A faster turnaround on loan approvals.
I think if a bank is locally owned, then you get quicker decisions.
Personal service is important.
Absolutely. Jim, we haven't heard from you yet.
Well, I bank at Carolina Southern. They already do all those things.
Wow. Carolina Southern, more than a bank, your business partner.
The Bradshaw difference, it's a better way on the road to savings every day. For the value update across the upstate. Don't wait, head straight to Bradshaw.
Bradshaw Chevrolet Geo's disappearance clearance.
Every vehicle clearance price.
A fully loaded S10 Blazer.
Just $297 per month.
With automatic, cruise, and much more.
Just $297 per month.
Don't wait, head straight to Bradshaw.
Bradshaw Chevrolet Geo's disappearance clearance.
Wade Hampton Boulevard in Greer.
Look, it's a bird.
No, it's a plane.
Not exactly. It's Camo Man.
Serious hunters like me always come to Luthi.
Stylish camo. I'm invisible. Camo Man loves Luthis. They're real pros here. Ooh, great price. Bow Hunter's Heaven. Camo Man finds it all here. You shop where Camo Man shop. Luthie's Sports and Palm.
Hello from fabulous Plank Road Field, where the Plank Road 10 has just chalked up another impressive win, and our coach, Paul, is ready to give his victory speech. Now this is watered down. And this isn't. Ice House. It's ice brewed, so there's never any watered down taste, just more of what you want in a beer. So remember, winning isn't everything, but Ice House is. Thanks, and enjoy.
Defense!
9:25 remaining opening period. Auburn leads 7-0 along with Dave Rowe and Bob Kessling. Tim Brando, happy to have you with us on Jefferson Pilot Sports, and that is a good sign for the Tiger faithful today. 23-1 when scoring first under Terry Bowden.
Talk about capitalizing on mistakes. That's what Auburn does, and Ole Miss just cannot afford to make mistakes.
They run out of the eye from the 10. Little cadence check that time might have drawn David Evans off sides, the left tackle, number 60.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that really upsets coaches. You've got them back on the 9-yard line, 10-yard line. You give them a free 5 yards out to about the 16.
Rom Gilbert is the referee, the umpire Bud Williams. Bobby Towns is the linesman. Line judge Mike McGinnis. Tom Szymanski, Ronnie Fuqua, Harold Mitchell, and Cleve Hale is the alternate. First and 5. McLeod gets it. And he's rolled over after a 2-yard gain. Johnny Jones, 92, the first to get there. Junior from nearby Batesville, Mississippi.
And you know, it's interesting, Tim, as I watch the penetration, that time it's David Evans in there penetrating, making that back just kind of cut back. Watch the penetration of 60. He's the first one in there. See the back try to make that little step? Bang. Then he comes over there, and then you see 92, Johnny Jones, come in there and clean it up. That's what you've got to do against this running D offense of Auburn.
3 wide outs in the I formation. There's the quick pitch. Oh, the Ole Miss defense stacked up in the middle. Orlando Trainer makes the stop of Fred Beasley. Little or no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
Well, you see those backs starting to make that little plant in the backfield? When they're doing that, that again is penetration. And that's what Ole Miss is planning to do. They are planning. They're not sitting back holding, waiting, and pursuing. They're coming off the football.
They did give him 2 yards, so it's 3rd down and 2. Little bootleg action from Craig. He is resourceful, isn't he? 1st down, Auburn at the 31. Karsten Bailey makes the catch. Boy, once he gets away from that first defender, he becomes awfully dangerous. The pressure coming from Johnny Jones, 92.
Yeah, watch this right here. When you have a quarterback that has this dimension, right there, you got to hold on in that situation. Now watch, kind of gathers his composure a little bit, finds his receiver out there and passes for the 1st down. He would not have been able to run for the 1st down. Just kind of gathered himself a little bit.
Sincade Pennington and Eric Hines Tucker now checked into the Auburn backfield with Craig. 1st and 10 out of the shotgun. And again, premature movement along the front.
Well, I saw Jim Rowe jump off sides, but I don't know if he went with the cadence count or whether it was the Ole Miss players firing into the neutral zone. But you've got to look down at the football. If you're a defensive lineman, you only go when the football moves. You don't go on sound.
There's Tommy Tuberville. You talk about a coach of the 90s, a guy that knows how to push the right buttons, say all of the right things. This is a Rebels team, though, that is 1-9. He's trying to fight off some bad history in this matchup. 1st down and 15. Out of the shotgun again. There's Jones, but Craig gets away. Exactly what Tuberville was concerned about. Amiga Spearman, who just checked in for Nate Wayne, made the tackle. A young man they're very high on, freshman from Bruce, Mississippi, but Craig makes another nice one.
Well, you can't pull up. You got to run through him. You got to look at that belt buckle, and you just can't allow that quarterback to step up like that. When you sell out on a blitz, you have got to get him. They had him in the backfield. They just all of a sudden broke down and let him just escape.
Gain of 11, 2nd and 4. Right up the middle, Sincade Pennington, redshirt freshman from Troy, Alabama, stopped by Kyle Wicker, the defensive end. Another one of the many defenders that has changed locations along that Ole Miss defense.
And all of a sudden now Auburn goes in, looks like they were going to go into their no-huddle offense. Now they call a timeout.
3rd down and a yard coming up for Auburn when we return. 7:10 remaining opening period. Back after this word from CarQuest Auto Parts. Go ahead.
First day my new boss throws me the keys.
Get it fixed, kid.
So I took it to Charlie. Guy's a real pro.
Let's get the parts.
Charlie says to be the best, you gotta use the best. Like dependable CarQuest filters. CarQuest high-efficiency filters keep engines running clean and smooth.
Relax. It's done. Did you get the car fixed, kid?
Yes, sir.
Where'd you get the parts?
CarQuest?
Welcome to the pros, kid.
The Outback is all Madden country. And out here, they have their own kind of tailgating. Outbacking. Check out that perfect end over end. That's all Madden. These seasoned pros are ready to go. That's all Madden. And there's no penalty for piling on.
You'll always find a great steak and a great time at Outback Steakhouse.
One thing I never hear in the Outback is, that's all, Madden.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Life. It's not the sort of thing that shuts down at 5. So at Bell South, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you ever need to reach us, just give us a call. Anytime. Bell South, it's all here.
It's back.
Since 6 alive.
SE5.
Gotta go for a ride.
Customized with air, bedliner, cassette stereo, sliding rear window, alloy wheels, and chrome bumpers.
Yeah, 6 alive.
Mazda SE5.
Let me go for a ride.
Just $11,995 or lease for $189 a month, $1,000 down.
Just let me go for a ride.
Mazda.
Got a passion for the road.
The legendary SE5.
7:10 remaining here in the first quarter of play. Auburn leading it. There's Go You War Eagle making the trip. It's third down and a yard to go. Auburn with its power running game intact. Double tight ends, McCorvey and Tyrone Dillard. And the pitch to Beasley. That's a first down. Past the 40 to the 42-yard line. You saw T.J. Dunnigan, a reserve left guard that came in to help with the blocking there, number 77. And it's time for some Morgan Keegan around the SEC, the South's premier investment firm, and a couple of big games. Vanderbilt playing Bama, Georgia, South Carolina, two quality running backs, Deuce Staley and Robert Edwards, who was shut down for Southern Miss, looking for redemption in a matchup later tonight at Williams-Brice Stadium. Here it's first down and 10. Hill and Lowe have come into the game at wideouts. And Beasley carries again. Good cutback by Fred Beasley past the 45 to the 46-yard line. Derek Jones, the corner, coming up to make the stop. The senior from Woodruff, South Carolina.
You know, Tim, they were talking a lot about weather being a factor. Weather should actually help Ole Miss. They're not going to get their first-team players. They don't have the depth that Auburn has, so their first-team players should not get that tired.
Well, you don't need air conditioning today. A fan will do, thank you. Second down and 6 coming up. McLeod and Eric Hines Tucker now in the backfield behind Craig. 3 wide receivers. Damian Craig's pass is complete at the 45 of Ole Miss. Called in by Hicks Poor, number 89, junior from Marietta, Georgia.
I was watching Fred Beasley that time as he came up blocking. He really did a good job, but this is just a good route. Just a little curl at about 12, 15 yards off the line. And that's just perfect timing. I'll tell you this, Damian Craig is impressing me. He's smooth. He throws easily. You see that ball just zip off his hand. It's not lofted. It's just like a rope, just bang, going right out there. Got a lot of talent.
First and 10, Craig rolls to the right side. Pass for Hicks Poor. Incomplete. Boy, he nearly brought that one in. In the middle of double coverage, both Ronnie Hurd, the strong safety, as well as Gary Thigpen were right there with it.
Well, this is concentration because he almost came down with that football, and you can see the defensive backs coming back towards it. Watch the ball juggle right there. It's in his hands now. Boom. Look at juggle, juggle. Look at them all going for that football. It's like a hot potato.
Walker Jones was the corner with him, but he had plenty of help from Thigpen and later Ronnie Hurd. 10th play of this drive for the Tigers. It's second down and 10.
Now we go in that no-huddle offense where they break up on the line. Now what they do is Damian Craig looks out, sees how many are in the box, calls the play from the shotgun.
In the middle of that zone, incomplete. Tyrone Goodson got hammered on a late flag.
Oh, you can't do that. You just made a great play on the safety spot. Hurd has made a great play coming across from a strong safety spot. It's an incomplete, and then you take an extra swing at him. You just do not do that. Not on third down and 10.
Well, it would have brought up third down.
Oh, that's just a mistake.
And the kind that Tuberville just cannot afford today. Crowd doesn't like it, but it was pretty obvious.
Well, watch the play again. You'll see it going across the middle from left to right. Now you're going to see Hurd come in there, number 2, and makes a good play right there. Now, the tail end of this. Don't do anything else.
Yeah. At first, it appeared as if he was trying to hold Goodson and be somewhat compassionate, and then he gave him a pop. No excuse for that.
Well, he's too good a football player to do that. That's just a mental mistake.
First down 10 at the 29 of Ole Miss. Out of the shotgun again. Little delay. Markeith Cooper. Markeith Cooper gets it down to the 26-yard line. This youngster, not even on the two deeps, has become quite a phenom out of Miami, Florida. Stopped that time by Thigpen. Cooper had a big game against Fresno last week. Has also been outstanding on special teams. There you see the numbers, and that includes a 100-plus yard effort last week. They nicknamed him the Lizard for obvious reasons. He's able to find those little pockets in the offensive line and crack through. Beasley gets it down to the 22 on second down and 7. It'll be third and short coming up.
You know, Tim, you look for things and momentum and things like that to change. I'll tell you this, Ole Miss is playing really good football. They're playing really hard football. They're playing against an outstanding team, and I note that Tommy Tuberville knows that. He knows how good this Auburn team is, knows he can't make mistakes and win this football game, but his players are coming hard.
Boy, Brock Kreitz has been in on just about every play. Number 14 in red. This is third down and 3. Beasley, the lone setback. Here comes the blitz up the middle. Craig runs the fade route again. Bailey, touchdown. 2 fades, 2 touchdowns for Damian Craig.
Now, Damian Craig may have had better days than this, but I am going to tell you he is throwing the ball so well today. It's an outstanding pass. Watch the pressure from the top. They blitz them all. Here comes the pressure. He's backing up. You see the pressure hit him. He doesn't see the completion. But the fade, look at this. High up in the air. You can't throw that ball any better. Out of the reach of the defender, just perfect throw.
By the way, Thigpen is only 5'9". Gary Thigpen, that cornerback that was isolated with Karsten Bailey. But he gets his first touchdown reception of the year. The sophomore from Sharpsburg, Georgia, played at East Coweta. And he joins Robert Baker as a touchdown recipient from Damian Craig today, and it's 14-0 Tigers. Don't forget, coming up next Saturday, your Bell South SEC Game of the Week. Alabama looking for revenge as they travel to Little Rock to take on Arkansas. Razorbacks won the game last year in the final seconds, you'll recall, when J.J. Metters made that immaculate reception. Down to Bob Kessler.
Well, this is a very big game for Ole Miss. They have a lot of their recruits in, over 200 of them. And Tommy Tuberville also sent postcards to everybody on the recruiting list. The postcards said, hey, make sure you tune into the Jefferson Pilot game, 11:40 this Saturday when the Rebels take on Auburn. We appreciate the plug, and also Tommy Tuberville's trying to take advantage of the fact this is the first time they've been on TV in over a year.
Yeah, he was politically correct, too. He made sure airtime was 11:30, but kick at 11:40.
That's exactly right.
Jared Holmes will kick off for Auburn, and it's Fisher and Avery again back deep. There's Tavoris Fisher. His fumble on a punt led to Auburn's first touchdown. I know we're early, Dave, but it is now essential that the Rebels get something going.
It really is. You look at momentum. You look at as we look at the scoring play. That play was 13 plays long, 89 yards. That is great control of the football when you can run that many plays. But again, it's just compounded by a mistake. That personal foul would have brought up third down and 10. They might have been able to stop him, get the football back. Now Ole Miss has got to come out and get some first downs. They've got to take some of the pressure off their defense. They've got to put some first downs together. You change your offense a little bit now in this situation.
Double tight ends this time for the Rebels, and a bootleg by Head. And the crossing pattern is complete to Rufus French, his first catch. He backs up Chris Mangum. They went with a double tight end in that situation with both he and Mangum in the game. He's a freshman out of Emory, Mississippi, and was the most highly touted tight end coming out of high school last year.
Yeah, he was drafted as a baseball player, I believe. He's quite an athlete.
14-yard gain for Ole Miss. Damon Bilbrew is one wide receiver. He's at the bottom of your screen. and Mangum and French remain in. Dual tight ends. Quick play action fake. Bilbrew at the boundary. Wrapped up just shy of the 40-yard line. Brad Ware, backup free safety from Powder Springs, Georgia, and McEachern High School, a true freshman, made the tackle.
And Tim, you can really read these Ole Miss linemen when they're going past. They've barely got an ounce on their fingers. They're sitting way back on their heels. They're going to drop back, and Auburn's going to be able to read that. They know that. They can tell when it's going to be that pass. They'll be coming.
That'll cool your tails. 2nd down and 5. Little delay. Artie Moore stopped behind the line of scrimmage back at the 35. And Martavius Houston all over him again.
Well, again, that corner force where the corner comes up and starts forcing the ball inside. The safety comes in there and just bam, drops him.
Now, we talked about the young linebacking core being outstanding, but look at the career tackles. This is a very young defensive backfield. We may have a marker down. Too many men on the field for Auburn. Head's pass is incomplete. They were trying to make a late substitution in their interior alignment, and I don't think Terry Bowden could make that substitution prior to the snap.
Well, I saw one of the Ole Miss players run all the way to the sideline. He stopped about a yard from the sideline and got down in a position. I thought he might have been the extra man, but they're talking over with Ole Miss, so evidently it is against Auburn.
Yeah, Ricky Neal, the inside linebacker, was trying to get out of the game. He was huffing and puffing, and I don't think he got out of the in fact, he wasn't even to the yard line insignia. He had about 10 yards between he and the sideline. As well documented, Terry Bowden's been having some physical pain, hasn't he, Bob?
We talked to him today before the game. He said as long as he's standing up and moving, it doesn't bother him. It's when he lays down at night and tries to get out of bed when it's sore. So he said he doesn't expect it to affect him during the game. And, of course, this time of the year, coaches don't sleep anyway, so he might as well. He's going to get some more treatment on it Monday, and we'll have an update as the game goes along on his neck.
That is painful. 3rd down and 5 out of the shotgun. 4 wide receivers for Ole Miss. Markers down. Head in trouble. Pass is complete. The tight end Mangum. His first catch in Auburn territory at the 49. Now we'll check the flag.
Well, Jimmy Brumbaugh got great pressure in the middle. He's the nose tackle, forcing the quarterback out. And what an adjustment by Head to throw that ball while running to the right, throw it across your body. That was a great play.
Preliminary indication is procedure against Ole Miss.
This is Chris Mangum going out. He's on a crossing pattern. See Head in the back with it. Watch him just throw that ball in there. Mangum is quite a prospect too. Got great hands, comes downfield. He's a big target at about 6'4", about 245.
Negated by another mistake. 6 defensive backs, dime package for Head to work with. The pass is incomplete. A drop by Rome at the 45-yard line. Boy, a lot of breakdowns by Ole Miss. They've had them on special teams, a defensive breakdown by Hurd, and now some drops and penalties in key situations.
You can't drop this ball. You got to catch it. You got to catch it. He was plenty in bounds. It almost looked like as if he's trying to shuffle that feet to keep one of those feet in bounds. But again, concentrate on that football. Don't allow that ball to be missed.
Randall Green to punt it away. Should get it off at his 25. Baker is back deep, standing at his 20. Gets away from one would-be tackler. And Derek Jones finally runs him down. There's a fumble. The Rebels have it. Derek Jones, wearing Chucky Mullins' number, makes a tremendous play. He made the initial hit, but stayed with it, and then ultimately stripped Baker of the football.
A block in the back. That's going to go against Auburn. If it is a fumble, it's going to be Ole Miss's ball.
Lawrence Adams with a recovery, but watch Jones here.
Yeah, 38. Now look, he doesn't give up. Now he gets up here and runs. He's still coming back to the football. Now watch him run him down. You don't wear Chucky Mullins' number 38 for nothing. He's an outstanding player.
The Courage Award winner, belonging the number 38 to that man, Derek Jones. He, by the way, is the first Chucky Mullins number Courage Award winner to never have met Chucky Mullins. All of the others at one time or another had the opportunity.
There's Chucky Mullins, paralyzed in that football accident, has since passed away. I remember seeing him at the Liberty Bowl one year. Just a tremendous display of courage.
Avery inside the 15 to the 13-yard line. Well, that kind of turnover for Ole Miss was essential in this situation.
Yeah, they had to have it. They had to have it. Swing out of the backfield. Now, what you want to do when you get this football is get upfield just as fast as you can. He's got some running room. Looks for that little seam back to the inside. Protect that football. You've got to come away with points in this situation. Remember, this Auburn defense hadn't had any points scored against them.
Grant Hurd, 88, is in at wide receiver. Very tall. They like to look at him in these situations. He's got it. 10-5, touchdown, Ole Miss.
Well, Tim, you can't give this much room on the corner. Watch the cornerback. He's way off the ball. You see him coming in now. You can't give that much room to an outstanding receiver. That's Treese Williams now. He's starting in the place of Rodney Creighton, who had had that sprained ankle.
They love to utilize his size and height. He's 6'3", 190. The extra point by Tim Muntz is good. And the Rebels strike back off a turnover by Auburn with the help of Derek Jones and a masterful play on special teams. Paul Head finds the freshman Grant Hurd for the touchdown.
Again, out in the flat, little fake action here. Look at the corner. Look how far off he was. He was at least 8-9 yards off. Now, one of the reasons that opened this up is their spikes. Number 55, he's coming on a blitz. You see 30 in there, or 50, I should say. That's Ricky Neal. He's also coming on that blitz. Just a great play there by Room.
Grant Hurd with a touchdown reception, and Tommy Tuberville's team right back in it. He loves to compare Hurd to a wide receiver he once had at Miami while on Jimmy Johnson's staff, that being Michael Irvin, and wearing 88 and 6'3". It would remind you of it.
Sure does.
Robert Baker dropping back deep, along with Eric Hines Tucker for Auburn. As Lindsey prepares to kick off. Steve Lindsey handles all the kicking chores on kickoffs and long field goal opportunities. Oh, he got all of that one, didn't he? That one's practically to Batesville.
Now let me tell you what happens in the huddle. You come out there, your defense is pumped up, your offense has just scored. That's the first score this season against Auburn. We talked about their vaunted defense. Now your defense comes out, and look at the emotion of those players.
You think they're pumped?
Oh, I know they're pumped.
And they were about that loud at the Grove earlier today. Derek Jones made that big play on special teams. He sets up man-to-man on Baker at the bottom of your screen.
They've got 7 in the box.
Quick pitch, Beasley. Barely to the line of scrimmage.
Well, again, you see that great penetration by Ole Miss coming off the football. They're in the backfield.
Orlando Trainer made the tackle.
Yeah, that's Orlando Trainer, number 72. He's just getting in the backfield every time. He and Evans, we've watched them in those first couple series getting that great penetration.
McLeod making his way back in, replacing Beasley in the backfield for Auburn. He'll line up in the slot left near the top of your screen. 2nd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Craig. Nearly picked off. Timothy Strickland, the redshirt freshman from Hamilton High School in nearby Memphis, Tennessee, had nothing but green pasture in front of him.
Oh, they love closing speed on safeties, and watch this. Steps right in front of him. Strickland had that football. There's no way he should have missed that one. Look at the hands over the ears or up on the head saying, oh, boy.
3rd down and 9.
When you hear this crowd if they stop him.
Down at the 10-yard line. Morris Scott. Much like Jones, he was the first man in, but he had some stick-to-itiveness here.
Oh, did they ever. And there's Wicker, 43. He's fighting his way inside, too. Everybody's getting in there. Look at him trying to scrape and doing everything they can. We talked about how hard they were playing. They're playing hard.
The Rebels end the quarter on a high note. It's 14-7 on an SEC Saturday in Mississippi.
First, I figured I'd forgotten where I'd parked. And then I knew. I called my husband, the police, and Ken, my nationwide insurance agent.
Willie was upset. You don't get your car stolen every day.
2 days later, my car showed up.
Broken windows, scratches, I mean, nothing major.
It wasn't a pretty sight, but the check sure was. Ken got it to me the next day.
Helping someone, it's a good feeling. That's why I'm a nationwide agent.
Nationwide is on your side.
Come on, baby, show your stuff. Work it hard for me, baby. Can't get enough.
Nice shot.
All
Who's
the
next?
boys, they're watching you. You really work it, woman. You know that's true. And when you do, you'll be my little baby blue.
Hey up, boys.
We keep you moving, we keep you moving.
At BP, our high-octane Super 93 is formulated with our highest level of engine cleaning power. Super 93 delivers everything you demand in a premium gasoline, so you can concentrate on more important things.
We keep you moving, we keep you moving, we keep you moving, we keep you moving.
It's back.
Since sakes alive,
SE5.
gotta go for a ride.
Customized with air, bedliner, cassette stereo, sliding rear window, alloy wheels, and chrome bumpers.
Yeah, sakes alive.
Mazda SE5.
Let me go for a ride.
Just $11,995. Or lease for $189 a month, $1,000 down.
Just let me go for a ride.
Mazda.
Got a passion for the road.
The legendary SE5.
Block punts.
There's Jared Holmes. He'll be punting as we open the second quarter, along with Dave Rowe, Tim Brando, Bob Kessling on the sidelines, and Tavoris Fisher with a fumble earlier today with an opportunity, one would think, of a quality return. Ole Miss sets up for the block, but Fisher, 4.4 speed in the 40. So look out. Down at the 45-yard line. Quality coverage there by Darrell Riggins, among others. 41-yard punt, 7-yard return as you look at the Mazda first quarter stats. And again, Damian Craig with an outstanding period. But Mississippi picked up the pace in the latter stages of the second quarter.
Well, we know that Mississippi cannot run the football. They're not going to run the football with any expertise today, so they're going to have to rely on that man right there, Paul Head. And, of course, a great defensive play to get that football back.
Derek Jones, right now, the most valuable player for Ole Miss with that strip job of Baker on the punt return moments ago. Out of the shotgun, Head swings it out, Avery. They have just been unable to corral the linebacking core. Takeo Spikes, the sophomore sensation, makes that tackle. Bob Kessling.
You know, most of these coaches like slogans. Each year, Terry Bowden has one. This year, it's loyalty for Auburn. Tommy Tuberville has one as well. On the back of T-shirts the team uses to work out on Fridays, one step at a time. Last year, a winning record. They're trying to get better this year.
Well, these two guys have a lot in common. People-oriented. Players love playing for them. Second down and 15. Again, it's Avery. Couple of good cutbacks by Avery. Look at that. Down to the 40-yard line. And he did most of it on his own into Auburn territory. Brumbaugh, Ryan Taylor collaborate on the stop.
You talk about on his own. Watch this. Out to the flat. Again, sometimes this is a setup play, but what he does here, watch this coming back up now. He's going to lose yardage there. Look at the white jerseys coming, though. They just keep on sending their defensive players in waves.
Fisher checks out. Hurd, number 88, back into the game at 6'3", the young man that had the touchdown moments ago. He's at the top. Head on 3rd and 5 to Mangum. First down, Mississippi at the 29-yard line. An 11-yard gain.
I was just going to say, who would you go to? I'd go to Chris Mangum, the tight end. Boy, he comes off that football. He's that big target. Good blocking up front by that offensive line of Ole Miss. They hold Auburn out on this 3rd down, and you see Head looks right across and sees 82 Mangum on that little curl pattern. He gets just enough yardage for the first down.
Mangum, what an outstanding story, and we'll have one on him at halftime that you'll really enjoy. Quick drop, Head, pump fake, looking for Hurd again. Incomplete. The pass hung up there just a bit. Back to cover on Hurd. We've got a marker down. Brad Ware, 27, he and Jason Bray.
And where that flag is thrown, Tim, it's almost always on the defense, encroachment in the neutral zone, and that's what the signal is. So they're going to pick up 5 yards on that play and still have first down.
Boy, it's been a day for fade routes, hasn't it? 2 for Terry Bowden for a touchdown. And by the way, we are having some difficulties with referee Ron Gilbert's microphone. We apologize for that, so you'll just have to hear a little more of us telling you what he's telling the audience here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
Well, you want to hear what he said? He said, that was offsides on the defense. They lined up in the neutral zone.
And if this doesn't work out, we know what you'll do. This doesn't work, we know where you're at.
All right, I can take it up.
First down and 5. Avery, good blocking in front of him, but it closed in a hurry, didn't it? Boy, the speed of Takeo Spikes coming into play yet again.
Well, one of the things that Chris Mangum had to do is work on blocking. Let's watch him off the line. 82. Line up inside, just get him outside. He does a good job on that way. That's a good job. Turn them all the way outside, make them come around you. That's a good play.
Matt Luke just limped off, the center, and he's been replaced by 65 Eric Bubrig, junior from Harvey, Louisiana, and Jesuit High School.
Luke, of course, that starting center.
Second down, 3. From the 22. Heads pass caught by Hurd. Now, he had a first down, but on the move, he lost a yard. He's back to the 20. Should be shy of the first down. So the inexperience coming into play for Hurd that time. Antoine Nolan, the corner, number 13, made the tackle.
Now, your 3rd down and 1. You don't have a running game. You've got -5 yards. Do you run it?
Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, down on the sidelines there with Tuberville. And on 3rd and 1, it looks as if they'll run. They do, and they have a first down. Artie Moore. Really interesting. Tommy Tuberville's had some Mississippians come home. Young men that decided to go elsewhere. Mangum went to Alabama, returned home. Robert Reed, who's not playing today, went to Arkansas, returned home. And Artie Moore went to LSU. And the youngster from Wiggins, Mississippi, as a senior now, playing in the red and blue of Ole Miss. First and 10, Lawrence Adams now in the game, number 17 in red. He's in motion. Swing pattern again. Artie Moore hit hard at the 14-yard line. Ryan Taylor, the free safety yet again.
Again, Artie Moore swinging out of the backfield. That little swing pass out to the flat here. Try to pick up the block by the wide receiver. He does a good job, but the strong safety comes in, and that's number 6, Ryan Taylor.
Second down, 6. This is the area in the field really where the concerns really crop up because of the lack of a power running game for Ole Miss. It's also where Hurd can be very dangerous, 88. And at the top of your screen. Artie Moore down to the 2. Boy, that is a good sign for Ole Miss. They don't expect those kinds of holes against this Auburn defense.
Well, I think Mark Smith missed the tackle in the hole 97. Let's see. Right there, 97. He's right in the hole. He just missed the tackle, but that's the most yardage that Ole Miss has made on any running play. Boy, listen to this crowd, Tim. Are they into this football game?
Out of the I formation. Head. Dumps it out of bounds, incomplete.
Ooh, I thought that was grounding the ball. You can't do that.
And we've got a marker down right where the pass was thrown.
I think that was grounding. Yes, it is. That's the call. Grounding the football. Sure was. Now see what he's doing. He's saying, I was right there. I was right in the way. Yeah.
Nate Wayne is the middle linebacker that does come in on short yardage. In fact, did catch one earlier. We may get a reversal here. I think he may have lobbied for this. It might have won the debate.
Well, he's on the bottom of your screen. Now see if in fact it even comes close. Now what the rule says is you can't. Oh, that's kind of a little feeble pass. But Wayne said he was right there. I don't see Wayne in our picture.
Yeah, but that's a tight picture. That was a very tight picture.
Yeah. Well, maybe they are.
The fact that he went to the offhand, I think, as much as anything, had something to do with the marker being thrown. He had a limp right-handed pass. He, of course, is a left-handed quarterback.
Well, they overruled it, and there's nothing wrong with that. When you throw a flag, what you might see may be able to, when they have that little conference, the officials come over and say, hey, wait a minute. 47 was right there. He was close by. He had a chance at the football. Let's not hurt a football team by a play like that.
Second and goal from the 2. Artie Moore stopped short, it appears. Charlie Dorsey, 91, sophomore from Fort Lauderdale, made the tackle.
Now this is when you tell your offensive lineman, listen, just get cheek to cheek, drive him off the football. It's like driving on a 7-man sled. You don't want anything fancy in here. It's just straight ahead football. Now the Auburn people are in that end zone. They're going to be making a lot of noise trying to disrupt this Ole Miss offense. But again, cheek to cheek, drive him off the football. Big man on big man, powered right straight in.
Nate Wayne is the up back in the I formation. Anding is in the slot. Artie Moore, touchdown, Ole Miss. That's his 5th touchdown rushing in only 3 games.
Nothing fancy, just a straight lead play, just straight ahead, nose to nose. See who can get the penetration or get the seam. You see him go up over top and into the end zone. He followed his blocking back. Got great blocks up front. You remember Matt Luke came back in there. Of course, Omar Edwards is in there. Coburn's in there. Let's just drive him off football.
Monks' extra point is good. Look out, the Rebels are back on TV, and Tommy Tuberville knows it. Back after this message from Bell South.
Babondito. Parce que me voulait faire jeune gens, même Jean est là.
Language. It's how we communicate with each other. But not all of us speak the same one. So at Bell South, we have people you can reach who speak several languages, whether it's Creole or even English.
I'm so glad you have me good.
Bell South, it's all here.
See this label? This is the Gatorade. Look under the label for a chance to win SEC Championship tickets label. The Rush to the Sidelines label. Meaning 2 tickets. The Georgia Dome, the game, live, instant SEC gratification. And a chance to be on the sidelines. The field. Any closer, you'd need mandatory life insurance. Feel the magnitude. This is big. Life is a sport. Drink it up. Yeah.
Okay, you're the ketchup boy. When you see a burger, you squirt the burgers. Ketchup, burgers. Any questions?
Do I ever make it without ketchup?
At Sonic, we make it any way you want it.
like our made-to-order Sonic Burger and made-from-scratch onion rings, right now at a special low price. So break away from the ordinary and drive into Sonic.
Sonic, driving for a change.
In 1995, manufactured homes outsold site-built homes in South Carolina. For a limited time, Gold Star is offering a 1997 Horton home with shingled roof and vinyl siding for only $12,997. Gold Star Housing has 3 lots conveniently located near you with over 70 homes on display. And Gold Star's service team offers setup and service second to none. Be sure to ask about their guaranteed lowest price and their 10-year warranty. Gold Star Housing in Spartanburg, Welford, and Greer.
Steve Lindsay prepares to kick. 14-14 our score. As the Rebels have forged a comeback, you look at Artie Moore with that 1-yard touchdown run, and look at the drive. Over 4:50 off the clock, and they got yardage on the ground, which is gravy in this game.
That was an incredible play. But I think the thing that really has impressed me in this first half is that Ole Miss could have quit. They were down 14-0. Auburn's a tremendous football team. We're talking about a nationally ranked football team. Ole Miss is recovering, but there's no quitting these guys.
Eric Hines, Tucker, and Baker back deep. Fumbled between the 2 of them inside the 5. Finally, Baker corrals it. And he's hammered at the 15-yard line. Now, Nate Wayne made a couple of big plays. One, he lobbied for and won a debate with the officials, and then he helped set up this.
Oh, and this was a huge play. Just straight ahead football. But that third down play, or that second down play, when he went to the official and said, hey, wait a minute, I was right there. I had a chance to get that football. That was huge.
Terry Bowden's club, and you look at the circumstances that surrounds this team, coming off a 62-0 win against a club like Fresno that had played Oregon off its feet a week earlier, and LSU, a matchup coming up next week. They were in one of those very difficult sandwich game situations. That's Beasley. He has 4 yards. He's a youngster that reminds me a great deal of Brent Fullwood in the sense that you can hit him a time or two, and he only grows stronger with each passing hit that he takes from a defender.
Yeah, he's 6 foot tall. He's a compact body. But I'll tell you this, they kind of bang off. It's like bumper cars. They come up, and one man just doesn't bring him down. You don't see one of those corners coming up there just trying to grab him and jerk him on down.
Out of the shotgun, 2nd down and 5. They gave him a 5-yard pickup. Bailey is the wide receiver to the bottom of your screen. Draw. Beasley tripped up by Al Rice, the Willie linebacker, number 80. There to close it up, the sophomore from Jackson, Mississippi.
And it was a good hole up front. It's a cross action. Watch this. You give it to him, you block there. Now you see the hole just kind of explode through there. You see Wilson moving over to the football. But right now, Auburn has got to take control back of this football game. They've got to have an offensive drive. They've got to have one of those 60, 70-yard eat-em-up time drives.
3rd down, a yard to go. And again, T.J. Dunnigan, a backup left guard, is set up in an up-back situation. 77 in that slot. He should come in motion. Quick pitch, Beasley. 1st down, just shy of the 30. Well, they give him the 30, maybe the 31.
Pushed out by Derek Jones.
As Auburn was able to create plenty of room into the boundary.
Well, Ole Miss had a lot of players going to the football. You see a lot of jerseys there, but he just gets to the outside. Beasley using that speed to get to the outside. And again, there's nothing fancy about that. This is just strength football. This is like Auburn saying, hey, we want to take charge of this football back.
1st and 10. Just over 8 to play in the first half. Craig with plenty of time. Looping it for Baker. Got it at the 20-yard line. 49 yards on the hookup, and Robert Baker already with a touchdown reception. Had to wait on this one just a bit.
Boy, this is what you call Burnham. You see the strong safety come over? That means that Derek Jones has got him all by himself. Watch Damian Craig. All right, watch this tail end. Just kind of calm. I made it, coach. I got it. But you get that feeling again, Auburn taking back over control of this football game. Stung in this first half.
Right up the middle they go with Eric Hines. Tucker down to the 15. They'll average about 5 yards a carry with their ground game. And you have to run in this league to be effective. Terry Bowden knows that. But last year, with a running back like a Stephen Davis, Auburn made the decision to go with a more upbeat, flamboyant, spread formation offensive style. One that, according to Bowden, just about every team needs to adhere to if you're going to catch up with Steve Spurrier and the Florida Gators onslaught. 3 wide receivers again for Auburn. 2nd and 5. Quick pitch. And Beasley has to recover it at the 27. But a smart move just to get on top of it.
Yeah, you have to think that the cornerback is coming on you. That's a smart play just to get on. I'm a little bit surprised at that play, especially when you've had the handoff success. To take a toss and throw it behind him here. This is down the line. See how quickly the quarterback had to pull the ball up. I'd much rather see that handoff and see those running backs like Beasley use that speed to get to the outside.
3rd down, 17. Harston Bailey checks in. Beasley checks out. Goodson, the wide receiver to watch in go-to situations. 83 to the bottom of your screen. Craig steps up. He has some room. Finally hauled down at the 18-yard line. He'll be 8 yards shy of the 1st down. And a field goal situation coming up for the Tigers. Brock Kreitz, number 14, junior from Naperville, Illinois, made the tackle.
Well, you can take a chance. What they were concentrating on doing is keeping Damian Craig in the pocket, so they rushed wide and he stepped right up in between. Then you got to hope, especially with the distance, that you can cover back and get there. They did it. They held him to a field goal try.
Jared Holmes has been outstanding this year. This will be a 34-yard try. Ooh, he got it just by the scantest of margins. But Auburn returns the favor with a quality drive, the key hook up to Baker, leading to the field goal. And they lead at 17-14 here in Oxford. Back after these words from your local SEC station.
The final shipment of 1996 trucks has arrived. Century Ford Lincoln Mercury has clearance price Ford trucks, Ford F-150s, Rangers, even Explorers. Look at these big dollar savings. Brand new 96 Explorers up to $2,000 off the MSRP. Brand new 96 Ranger Super Cab pickups up to $3,700 off the MSRP. Or brand new 96 F-Series trucks up to $5,000 off the MSRP. Save thousands for a limited time. Come to where the upstate and Northeast Georgia buys more cars, trucks, and minivans for less. Century Ford Lincoln Mercury.
Just a little reminder. Coastal gasolines keep your engine clean, even in places you never thought possible.
Coastal. Quality gasoline. Little Cricket, they're on the way. Little Cricket, they'll make your day. So what do you say when you need it right away?
What do you say when you need it right away? That's easy!
Little Cricket, dummy.
Remember when people tried harder? Pages has never forgotten the way service used to be. They are committed to work hard to earn your business. Enjoy big screen excitement with this 35-inch RCA Color Track Plus, only $9.99 at Pages. Make any TV an instant home theater. RCA ProLogic Theater System is only $3.99 at Pages. At Pages, a sale doesn't end at our front door. Our service goes home with you.
Folks, I'm Dave Edwards, and our 97 Camrys are here, and that's great, but we still got bunches of 96s and need to go home with somebody. So to help us do that, we've got brand new Camrys for $199 per month with our lease purchase plan. Brand new Corollas for $159 per month, or new Tercels for $129 per month. That's Camrys for $199, Corollas for $159, or Tercels for $129 per month. And remember, nobody beats the Dave Edwards price because any Toyota adds a Dave Edwards Toyota ad. Go ahead.
Yeah, hotty toddy to you too. Tim Brando along with Dave Rowe and Bob Kessling on campus in the SEC on Saturday. There you see Chris Mangum from the Mangum family of football, and you'll be hearing a great deal more about him at halftime. One of the great stories in college football about a father, a son, and a football. Jared Holmes will kick it away. Auburn leading it by 3. Avery and Fisher back deep for the Rebels. And with the wind, this one is deep in the end zone. touchback and a 1st and 10 coming up for the Rebels. But there's more than just that Mangum story coming up at halftime, right, Bob?
That's right, Tim. That Magnum story will be a very special one because he talks about his dad and the relationship, and he's watching right now. I bet watch the game here. We'll check scores of other games, also give you an update on what's going on around the conference and first half scoring highlights. That's all coming up at halftime, plus a talk with both of the head coaches.
An event-filled game. And as I mentioned earlier, one of the greatest aspects of this rivalry now in the Southeastern Conference is that you've got a couple of baby boomer coaches that are really exciting the fans of both schools.
Oh, yeah.
For obvious reasons. Play fake by Head. Pass incomplete. Marcellus Marstella was right in the face of Head that time to help disrupt that play right from the start.
Well, what you want to do if you're Ole Miss, you don't want to give that football. You don't want to go 3 and out. You've just had Auburn get a score. You want to take a little bit of that momentum back as we look at one of the outstanding Butkus nominees, Mastella. He's all over the place.
Now, you'd think that Mastella, because of Takeo Spikes, might be losing some votes. I mean, they may hate one another in the Butkus Award voting process. 2nd down and 10. Looking for the sidelines. That pass may have been deflected too. Andre Roan was the intended receiver. It bounced about a yard or 2 in front of him. But again, good penetration by the Auburn front wall.
Well, one of the things that Ole Miss is doing is picking on that cornerback, the Rodney Creighton position. Rodney Creighton had that ankle sprain last week and didn't play. They brought Williams over. He's had a little bit of struggling. And now they've got Antoine Nolan over there, number 13. He's struggling a little bit. That's the corner to pick on if you're going to have to pick on somebody.
Nolan is a true freshman. Creighton, by the way, also a true freshman, the youngster that was injured. 6 defensive backs. Out pattern is caught at the 30-yard line, very near a 1st down. Excellent catch by the veteran Damon Bilbrew, who has been very helpful to these young wide receivers, the senior from Memphis, Tennessee.
Good concentration here by Bilbrew. He's got that out. That's good speed. He just gets that foot down right there. That was a big-time reception. It's a possession reception. You've got to make that 1st down. You want to keep the ball. And Terry Bowden told us that nothing would hurt them more than if they allowed Ole Miss to take that football, drive the length of the field, use that 6 or 7 minutes.
1st and 10. Pass incomplete and picked off. Jason Bray down the sidelines for the touchdown.
Well, this is a tip ball. If you're going to tip it up, you can't tip it up in the air. Watch the football come off the hands. Right there, it comes off the hands of Rome. Down the sideline goes number 4. That's Jason Bray, the cornerback. Just playing heads-up football out there in the corner spot. Boy, those mistakes are killing Ole Miss.
Yeah, Roan's had a couple of them. He dropped one earlier that was for a 1st down, and now the hands were a bit slippery on that quick out pattern. And Auburn has made Ole Miss pay on every mistake that they've made. A young defensive backfield, but opportunistic, their theme. Auburn by 10.
We're working hard every day, taking pride in what we do.
You know, you can get a can of beans anywhere, but when you come in my store, I'm going to bag them better than anybody else.
We're Dixie.
Not a boring job.
Low prices, that's our promise, that's our promise, that's America's supermarket.
Everyday low price.
We're Dixie.
For everyday life.
Every day.
A car engine has as little as 1/1000th of an inch of motor oil protecting its parts. But friction and heat can make motor oil become volatile and vaporize, weakening its ability to protect vital parts. Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility, fight vaporization, and provide complete engine protection, no matter what you drive.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
Joe, our nationwide insurance agent, said it reminded him of his first house. It needed a little work.
Patty and her husband got their friends together.
We got the place looking Great.
Yeah, I was able to help a little. I mean, since they now have a homeowner's policy with Nationwide, I could offer them a home car discount.
It was a really nice little housewarming gift. I'm glad Joe saved us money because we still have a few little things that need to be fixed up, like
Nationwide is on your side.
It's back. SE5.
Gotta go for a ride.
Customized with air, bed liner, cassette stereo, sliding rear window, alloy wheels, and chrome bumpers.
Yeah, six alive.
Mazda SE5.
Let me go for a ride.
Just $11,995 or lease for $189 a month, $1,000 down.
Just let me go for a ride.
Mazda.
Got a passion for the road.
The legendary SE5.
The Auburn faithful now with something to cheer about, and they have made good on every Ole Miss mistake today. In fact, if you count the personal foul against Ole Miss on defense earlier, that was a tragic error, and every arrow has been cashed in for a touchdown by Auburn.
It sure has. Now what Ole Miss has got to do is they've got to settle down. Stop going out to the wide outs. Hit Mangum a little bit. He's been open all day long across that middle on those curl patterns.
Holmes with a high kick, but a little shorter, taken by Avery. Taboris Fisher, I think you're pardon. He stopped just shy of the 15 at the 13-yard line. Only a 15-yard return. Well, I was accurate earlier. It was Avery rather than Taboris Fisher. So it's 1st and 10 for the Rebels. By the way, in case you're wondering, the last Auburn interception return for a touchdown, 1994 against Kentucky. They had several returned for touchdowns 2 years ago against LSU in the second half. If you remember that comeback.
Remember that one real well.
The Tigers get LSU next week. The Tigers of LSU have the week off. I'm sure Jerry DiNardo and staff are keenly watching this afternoon's matchup back home in Baton Rouge. Avery, the lone setback. And he gets it, taking it into the boundary. The bounds at the 18-yard line. The Auburn Tiger secondary and defense in general already has matched its total number for interceptions last year. This year.
Yeah.
That tells you a lot. They may be young back there, but they are very effective.
Well, you see the drop off from 94 to 95. That was one of the startling things, I think, that really upset Terry Bowden. He said, we got to get back to playing defense where we go for the football, and they go for the football.
2nd and 7. Just over 5 minutes remaining here in the first half. Nice counter play and some good room inside for Artie Moore. He was featured in the most recent Ole Miss scoring drive. Had it culminate with a touchdown. Brother Bill Oliver, so many years at Alabama wearing the new colors. It's interesting, you know, when he was at Alabama, he once referred to the Auburn coach as Buster Brown. But you could say that Terry Bowden and Brother Bill Oliver, as different as they might be in persona, they have been a great blend. The two of them have really initiated a tremendous relationship, something that had been missing prior to Bill Oliver's arrival, where Bowden and his defense was concerned. Quick out. Complete to Artie Moore.
You know, that looked like an easy play. That's not an easy play. You've got to catch that football on a dead run. It's a tough pass. Going to go to the right of your screen. See Moore come out of the backfield. Now hit him. Now let him use that speed. He knows exactly how far he had to get for that first down marker, and he made it. But now, right now, what Ole Miss wants to do is control that football, keep that ball on the ground, mix it up a little bit, use that little curl pattern to Mangum. Once in a while, if you want to, go deep, but make it be a safe, deep pattern, but don't allow Auburn to get the football back.
4 wide receivers, Fisher in motion. Like a checkoff at the line by Head. It's a specialty, quick reads. Finds Hurd, look out. At 6'3", he can run. 4.6 speed in the 40, takes him to the Auburn 40.
Well, I think he is looking more and more like Michael Irvin, number 88. That's who he's been compared to. Just a little curl pattern right here. Throw it out to him. Now let him make that move inside. Now get that speed. If he doesn't get tripped up right here, that was Jason Bray who didn't get him. And again, let him use that speed.
How about Bray, though, staying with it?
I was just going to say, did you see Bray come back and make that tackle?
First down, 10 at the 39 of Auburn. Fisher in motion. Head dumps it off to the safety valve. Artie Moore, no gain. Marcellus Mostella right there, the senior from Gadsden, Alabama. Preseason All-America choice.
You talked about this young linebacking core of Auburn. They are incredible. They are all over the field. I have not seen one of them get knocked down all day long.
One player that has not gotten involved offensively, Dave, for Ole Miss, and Tommy Tuberville told us he wanted him to have, with special teams and with offense, he wanted Boris Fisher to touch it about 25 times. Fisher has been a non-factor.
Yeah, he really has been.
2nd and 10. The delay, Artie Moore to the 35 to Theo Spikes. Made the tackle.
Dim, this is the kind of drive that they needed. Use that clock. It's under 2.5 minutes left. Get into field goal range. At least get a good shot at a field goal, but don't allow Auburn to have another offensive opportunity. They're doing what they want. Now, as far as the DeBoris Fisher, what happens is a lot of times that defense will dictate what they'll allow you to do. They're obviously taking DeBoris Fisher out of the game. So you've got to make that adjustment as a quarterback and go to who's open.
Fisher out of the game now. Lawrence Adams is in, number 17 in red. Mangum, the tight end now, spread to the top of your screen. 3rd and 6. Head in trouble. But he finds some room along the sidelines. Waiting for some help. Can't find any and finally goes down near the line of scrimmage. Mark Smith, 97, made the tackle and a coverage sack, to be sure.
Well, what you've got to do as a wide receiver in that situation is you've got to get open. You've got to wave your hands if you're open. Head is going to take this ball. He's going to roll to his left a little bit to the right of your screen. Then he's going to come all the way back across the field. Now, again, credit those offensive linemen, give them a little bit of time. Now, come back. Now, watch, he squares up. Now, wave your hands if you're open. Just wave your hands, say, hey, look at me, look at me. There's nobody to throw to. He's got to pull the ball down. You got to wave to him.
After a loss of 2 on 4th and 7, Ole Miss giving indications that they're going to go for it, but they will call a timeout first. A minute and 2 seconds remaining here in the half, and you can bet Tommy Tuberville understands it's important for them to score some points in this situation, giving themselves an opportunity at 4th down coming up. Let's go down to Bob Kessling. Bob?
Actually, Tim, we're up. We're with Pete Boone, the athletic director of Ole Miss, high in the stands, where one day you hope to add a few seats to Vaught Hemingway Stadium.
Yeah, we're going to do that, Bob. We've got 20 more rows that we're going up here, and then an upper deck over that. So we're going to add about 7,000 seats to the stadium. Be about 50,000 seats.
You know, it's interesting, too, your concept is to not only add seats, but maybe even reduce some of the prices to make all the fans of Mississippi able to come to games.
Well, that's right. I think we're about to overprice ourselves in the average person's market, and what we want to do is be a school for everybody. So we're going to be reducing prices as we get more capacity here.
Talk about the time schedule for the addition, and when do you hope to get it started?
We're starting now. We're talking with the architects, and we hope to have it in place in the fall of 1998.
So it's a situation where you just want to try and get more people in the state involved in your program, don't you?
That's right, and it has long-lasting effects for enrollment and donors down the road.
Pete, I know it's a big project. Good luck, and you're doing a terrific job here at Ole Miss.
Thanks so much.
Pete Boone, the athletic director.
All right, it's great to see that the athletic director and president and chancellor all on the same page. Field goal try coming up of 52 yards. Tim Muntz sets up out of the hold of Randall Green, trying to make an attempt for 3, but they come up empty. So after the timeout, Ole Miss elects to try for 3. And they come up empty. I'm a little surprised they didn't go with Steve Lindsay there, because generally in that 50-yard range, he's got the better leg.
I was surprised at that, too. In fact, I double-checked to make sure that was Munson. It was, but again, I was surprised. Now what you want to do? Hold them. Just keep them let them run out the clock. 57 seconds. Now, if you're Damian Craig, watch out. We saw the arm that he has. We know he can throw it long. He's found Bailey on that right corner 2 or 3 times wide open.
4 wide receivers for Auburn from their 36. Craig has been hot. This time it's tipped in the air, incomplete. And yet again, another opportunity missed at an interception. Gary Thigpen this time. Boy, both he and Timothy Strickland have had the line of sight for an interception in the first half.
Watch to the left of your screen, number 30, Thigpen. Watch him come in there. All you got to do is catch that football. And he knows it.
A little tougher take that time than the one Strickland had, which would have been for a touchdown had he come up with it. 2nd and 10. Here comes the rush. A little dump off to Markeith Cooper. See right there in evidence why they call him the Lizard as he squirms ahead to the 42-yard line. Derek Jones made the tackle.
Well, it keeps the clock running. We're down to 30 seconds. Auburn doesn't look like they're even trying to hurry the football. They're content to just go in at halftime up 24-14. But if it's me, I'd throw it long. I'd just try that one-on-one. I'd try Karsten Bailey out there, number 5.
It has been an entertaining first half. Damian Craig, this looks like a quarterback draw all the way. And he's going to carry it all the way down inside the 40. Stop the clock with 6 seconds left.
You know, he never looked to throw. That was a quarterback draw all the way. What he told his wide receivers to do is just you take them long as you can and let me just come stepping up through the line. Watch this. Never looks down, steps up, now boom, just find that little seam. What an ability this young man has. He puts such a dimension. You know, usually it's 11 against 10 because the quarterback doesn't run. Now they're going to try a field goal try.
Jared Holmes, who has been a pleasant surprise to be sure, tries from 52 yards.
He's got a long of 50.
And that one is deflected. Deflected at the line of scrimmage.
I think the ball was mishandled by the holder, and he couldn't get it down.
Jeremy Zeals, 35, the sophomore from Town Creek, had some difficulty in handling this snap from center. And that helps lead to the deflection at the line of scrimmage. So it's a 10-point game, and as entertaining as you'd expect from the Southeastern Conference. Let's go down to Bob Kessler. Bob?
Terry, tell your thoughts on the first half. Well, I tell you, we had a good thing going, but they really came back. My hat's off to Ole Miss. They played a lot of poise. They'll dink you. We've got to come out the second half, put some points on the board early, and get this game back under control.
Craig played well for you in the first half.
Yeah, he can make a lot of things happen.
Terry, thanks.
Thank you.
Terry Bowden, the head coach of the Auburn Tigers. They go to the locker room leading at halftime, 24-14. Back with halftime activity from Oxford, Mississippi in just a moment.
Today's Bell South SEC Game of the Week is brought to you by Sonic, where we invite you to drive in for a change. By Ford. Drop by your local Ford dealer today and check out 5 of the 10 best-selling cars and trucks in America. By Winn-Dixie, the low-price leader. By Texaco Haviland Formula 3 Motor Oil. And by Nationwide Insurance. Check the yellow pages for the Nationwide agent nearest you.
Just how strong is the Southeastern Conference? Strong enough to turn individuals into heroes and teams into champions by providing millions of dollars in scholarship awards. At Regions Bank, our employees have also built a strong award-winning team as we've grown from 3 small banks in Alabama to over 360 offices throughout the Southeast. All of us at Regions are extremely proud to be the official bank of the Southeastern Conference Championships.
The Southeastern Conference enjoys a rich tradition of excellence in both academic and athletic endeavors. A major reason for the success of the SEC is our partnership with some of America's top corporations. As corporation sponsors, these businesses help fund SEC youth clinics, drug education programs, and are the official presenters of each of the men and women's conference championships. The Southeastern Conference is proud to be associated with these companies, which are making a positive contribution to intercollegiate athletics.
Guess which burger chain just received a #1 overall rating in a recent national survey? Nope. Sorry. Who received a #1 ranking? Sonic. First in service and a #1 rating in overall satisfaction. At Sonic, your order is delivered fast and in person. And Sonic makes everything fresh to order. So break away from the ordinary and drive into America's choice.
Sonic, driving for a change.
More
refinements, more comfort, more standard features. You already know more is better. But in this case, it's better than ever. The new Toyota Camry. It'll be here in a flash.
Clarence.
Follow the 1996 SEC football race all season on the internet. SECevent.com is your one-stop internet location for all the latest SEC football information. Take the Regions Bank SEC Trivia Challenge. Play Gatorade's Red Zone online. Or simply listen to what the coaches have to say. From statistics to interactive games and highlights, the site has it all. www.secevent.com. Ole Miss Rebel Band entertaining the crowd. The sellout crowd here at Vaught Hemingway Stadium, but Auburn now leads at halftime, 24-14. It's been a game of runs in the first half. Welcome to halftime, everybody. I'm Bob Kessling. Auburn comes out, jumps to a 14-0 lead. Ole Miss comes back, and they tie it, and then Auburn gets the momentum back. And one of the big plays of the first half, Jason Bray intercepts this pass from Paul Head. This really swung the momentum in Auburn's favor. He returns at 35 yards for a score. And just like that, the Auburn Tigers build their lead to 10 at 24-14. The stat of the first half, Ole Miss had 2 turnovers. One of them that interception, and Auburn turned them all into points, 14 of them, and that's the reason the Tigers lead here in halftime by a score of 24-14. There are 3 games today in the SEC, and of course a lot of the teams are idle, but there's some outstanding players around the conference, and here's who's doing the best so far statistically. The best of the SEC is brought to you by Sonic, who invites you to drive in for a change. Leading rusher in the SEC is Kevin Falk, and what a start he had last week. 2 touchdowns and 246 yards for LSU. Kiefer McGee of Mississippi State is second in the league in rushing. Anthony Wright made a great debut as the starting quarterback of the Gamecocks. He led South Carolina to a victory last week and is now third in the league in passing. Peyton Manning leads the way, followed by Danny Werfel of the Florida Gators. Marcus Nash of Tennessee is emerging as a big play receiver in the Tennessee attack. He helped the Volunteers beat UCLA last week in Knoxville. He's second in the league in receiving behind his teammate Joy Kent of Tennessee. I Kill You to Florida is third. The leading tackler in the Southeastern Conference is Nate Wayne of Ole Miss. He has 22 stops so far this year. Johnny Rutledge of Florida is second in the league in tackles. The best of the SEC has been brought to you by Sonic, America's drive-in. So statistically, those are the best players. As for the outstanding player of last week, well, the LSU Tigers had one of those heartbreakers and heart thumpers down at Tiger Stadium. Last week, they came from behind to beat Houston, and one of the key Tigers is our SEC Player of the Week. This week's Bell South SEC Player of the Week is LSU Tiger running back Kevin Falk. Last week against Houston, Falk was unstoppable, picking up 246 yards on the ground. The best rushing day in LSU Tiger history. Falk also had 376 all-purpose yards as he led LSU to a remarkable 35-34 comeback win. LSU running back Kevin Falk. He's this week's Bell South SEC Player of the Week. So congratulations to Kevin Falk for his accomplishments last week. At halftime, Auburn leads Ole Miss 24-14. Back with more from Oxford in just a moment.
A car engine has as little as 1/1000th of an inch of motor oil protecting its parts. But friction and heat can make motor oil become volatile and vaporize, weakening its ability to protect vital parts. Texaco Haviland Formula 3 is formulated to control volatility, fight vaporization, and provide complete engine protection, no matter what you drive.
Add more life to your car. Take it to the star.
After I retired, I wanted to do something.
United Way supported foster grandparent program matches senior citizens with children.
Well, they're like real grandparents.
We put together recreational activities for the foster grandparents.
They teach the grandparents how to communicate with another generation.
It was a really nice experience.
College kids are just really wonderful.
It's very important for student athletes to give back to the community. The SEC and United Way teaming up to make a difference.
Auburn University, a leader in research, instruction, and outreach that impacts your life. But Auburn impacts in some ways maybe you didn't know. Like adding $2.4 billion to Alabama's economy and creating nearly 19,000 jobs. That's real impact. That's Auburn University.
I learned to get excited about great ideas and run with them.
I got my first byline working for the student newspaper. I made friendships that'll last a lifetime.
The University of Mississippi. Ole Miss, your home, your future, your life.
Our Reese's SEC Plays of the Week are brought to you by Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's, and there's no wrong way to throw a touchdown pass. Just ask Freddie Kitchen of the Alabama Crimson Tide. He avoids the rush and finds his tight end, Patrick Hape, in the end zone for a touchdown. Freddie Kitchen dodged them all day and led Alabama to a victory over the Golden Eagles last week, 20-10. Our Nutrageous Play of the Week is brought to you by Nutrageous Candy Bars. Give your mouth a party. Let's go to Nashville, where the Commodores hosted Notre Dame. The Irish pick off this Damian Allen pass, and then the fun starts. Vanderbilt forces the fumble, and then nobody wants to pick it up. The ball squirts free. Vanderbilt forces another fumble. Finally, Notre Dame comes out of there with the ball and the victory. And those are our plays of the week. SEC opener for both Auburn and Ole Miss. Right now, Auburn leads at halftime, 24-14. Now it's time to take a look at our Dodge scoreboard. What else is going on today in college football? You see in the third quarter, Virginia leads Maryland by a score of 7-0. In the third, Penn State rolling over Northern Illinois. Elsewhere, it's Kansas State shutting out the Cincinnati Bearcats. In the second, Virginia Tech leads Boston College 21-7. A couple of other SEC games later, Alabama and Vanderbilt. That's at 6 o'clock in Tuscaloosa. And then tonight in Columbia, South Carolina and Georgia square off. One of the stories surrounding this Ole Miss football team, of course, is their outstanding tight end. He's one of the best in the country, but there's so much more to Chris Magnum than just playing tight end here at Ole Miss. Playing football has been something that has evolved from his life when he was a boy. The son of a former pro football player and high school coach. The brother of a defensive back now playing in the NFL. Chris Magnum has been around football all his life.
And I was a manager when I was a little kid, and I mean, I used to go outside and put on shoulder pads and helmet, and I mean, I fell asleep before out in the backyard with all my football stuff on.
That enthusiasm and ability led Chris to play football first at Alabama, then at Ole Miss, where now he's become one of the best tight ends in the nation.
Hands room, throws deep. He's got Mangum in the end zone. Touchdown! Oh! Nelson being pressured, lost it in the end zone, diving for it. Mangum, he got it! Touchdown! Ole Miss!
Chris's commitment to football has never wavered, but the reason for that dedication has changed some. 2.5 years ago, Chris's father passed away.
Ever since then, I told myself, I said, you know, this is for him. Everything I do now. And last year, you know, it's one of those times where everything I do now in football is in his memory.
Big John taught his 3 children respect and pushed his kids to be better. Since his father's death, Chris has leaned on his mom and older sister for support. But he's also looked to his older brother, John, who's now in his 7th year with the Chicago Bears.
And once he passed away, I just kind of took a lot of responsibility on myself to make sure I try to call him every day, or, you know, as much as I can, and just be someone he can to listen to him. I mean, I talk to my brother at least every day or every other day. And that's, you know, I think he's my father now. He's my father figure, and I look up to him.
Chris will graduate from Ole Miss in December, but it might not be until April's NFL draft before he finds a job in the same profession as his brother and dad.
I told him, I said, look, I said, make a couple more years. I said, because I'm going to do everything I can. I said, because one day I want to run over you. So that's a big thing. I don't care. I think my dream would be to play with him one day on the same team. But if not, just to play one game against him, and that's what I want to strive to do.
Before he gets that opportunity, Chris is helping to rebuild the Ole Miss football program. Chris knows his dad has had a part in that as well.
But now, I mean, he watches everything. I mean, he's always there at every snap. I mean, it's better off now because he was so competitive and he always wanted to be right there every time. He wanted to be at every practice I ever had, and now he can be. I mean, he's right there beside me. I know that when I'm out there, when I'm hurting, I can say, well, hey, you know, he's right here beside me. He picks me up sometime, and it means a lot to me. He doesn't have to say anything for me to stick in my head. He's always there.
Quite a family, and also Chris's uncle, Wesley Sullivan, was also a player here at Ole Miss. He's in the stands today watching Chris as they battle the Auburn Tigers. At halftime, it's Auburn leading Ole Miss 24-14 here at Von Hemingway Stadium. We'll have more at halftime, but first, a word from your local SEC station.
C40.
Inward now. You got a WFBC.
You've got a WFBC.
Now. See it.
Now. WFBC. C40.
C40 now.
The secret's out. Have you heard? Everybody's spreading the word.
The secret's out. The taste of Arby's new chicken bacon and Swiss puts ordinary chicken sandwiches to shame. It starts with Arby's marinated and seasoned whole breast filet, our special recipe so it's extra tender and juicy. Plus our own thick cut peppered bacon and rich honey mustard.
The secret's out.
You can't beat Arby's new chicken bacon and Swiss. Try it and taste why it's better out here.
At the Spinks Company, we know you're busy. That's why we're always trying to make life a little easier.
I just love to be able to charge at the pump and be on my way.
Whenever I see this yellow Spinks sign, I know I get brand name gas at a great price.
Now Spinks has my favorite fast foods under one roof.
I make one stop for gas, milk, and dinner.
We are Spinks, making life easier.
When it comes to insurance, what would make your life easier?
If we have a claim, we want a prompt, fair settlement.
Whether it's auto, life, or homeowners insurance, Farm Bureau makes claim service our top priority. We check and double check to be sure your claim is handled properly in as short a time as possible. After all, when you have a claim is when you need us most, and that's when we earn your trust.
For quality insurance service, helping you is what we do best.
Our nationwide insurance scholar athlete of the week is defensive end Kyle Wicker from the University of Mississippi. The senior from Liberty, Mississippi has a 3.74 GPA in exercise science. Congratulations to Kyle Wicker, our nationwide insurance scholar athlete of the week. Ole Miss trailing here at halftime, 24-14 to Auburn. Let's go back upstairs to set up the second half. Here's Tim and Dave.
A very entertaining first half, to say the least, Dave, but taking advantage of mistakes, the catalyst for Auburn both early and late in the first half.
Oh, it certainly was. There were some really interesting highlights. It has been a game of highlights. It started off, of course, that fade route to Robert Baker deep in the end zone. Number 21 comes down. He's got a touchdown.
But while Derek Jones may have been burned there, with the score 14-0, it would be Jones that would make the key play out of special teams against, ironically, Baker.
Yeah, that's Jones that just tried to make that tackle. Now he doesn't quit. He comes back and strips Baker from behind, causes the fumble, and Ole Miss goes in to score.
Subsequently, they're back into the game emotionally, and then they come up with this great pass to the freshman Grant Hurd.
And Hurd makes a great move to get back inside. He goes into the end zone, gets Ole Miss back in the football game, and then it's Artie Moore. He plunges into the end zone, makes it 14-14.
But those mistakes keep cropping up, and that's what burned Ole Miss late in the half.
It certainly did. A little tip ball out here in the flat. Cornerback catches it, runs it right in for a score. You just can't have a tip in that situation. This play really hurt Ole Miss.
Jason Bray with the interception return for a touchdown. Obviously, as you look at the Jefferson Pilot insurance stats at halftime, the passing yardage for Auburn you'd expect. Ole Miss, though, has gotten some unfounded ground game going. 34 yards is more than we expected.
That really is. That's really a surprise. But I think really when you look at Auburn's offense, you've got to see that they have got to go back to the running game.
Time now once again for that most compelling halftime viewing. known as Rose Rewind. What do these two teams have to get done?
Well, first of all, for Auburn, they have got to reestablish the run. They only have 61 yards rushing. Their defense has got to dictate the tempo in the football game. For Ole Miss, where in the world is Mangum? He's got 1 catch for 11 yards. And the second thing is, where's DeBoris Fisher? They wanted him to touch the ball 25 times. He hasn't touched it at all.
So if you eliminate the mistakes and get those guys involved, I think these fans will be involved in the second half. So will we after this.
Parce que me voulait faire jeune gens, même journée là.
Language. It's how we communicate with each other. But not all of us speak the same one. So at Bell South, we have people you can reach who speak several languages, whether it's Creole or even English.
I'm so glad you have me good.
Bell South, it's all here.
I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference and it's getting better all the time. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 91, your new Advance Auto Parts store. Operational even on Sundays, the Advance Auto Parts store is full of the parts you need. Yet these are not the most important parts in the store. This is part number 1, the Advance Auto Parts staff. Helpful and knowledgeable, this part cannot be found at ordinary parts stores. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
Some people wait a lifetime to move up to a Lincoln, but if you wait now, you lose a chance at tremendous savings during Heritage Lincoln Mercury's fantastic 96 clearance. Save $9,000 on 96 Lincoln Mark 8s. Save $7,500 on 96 Lincoln Town Cars. Save $7,500 on 96 Continentals. The 96 Lincolns are going fast, and so are the once-in-a-lifetime savings. Don't delay. Hurry into the fabulous 96 Lincoln clearance sale, only at Heritage Lincoln Mercury on the Motor Mile.
Jefferson Pilot Sports' exclusive presentation of the Bell South SEC Game of the Week is brought to you by the Jefferson Pilot Life Insurance Company, the vision to power your dreams. By your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Burger King, where you can get your burger's worth. By Gatorade Rush to the Sideline. Just look under the label and you could win instant SEC gratification. And by the new Dodge. See the friendly Dodge dealer near you.
We should get an early indication as to where this game is headed. Ole Miss must kick off to start the third quarter, and earlier, Bob Kessling had a conversation with Tommy Tuberville.
Tommy, a game of momentum in the first half, wasn't it?
Well, we made so many mistakes the first half, more than we made the whole first 2 games, but I was proud of the way our guys played and came back from 14 points down. We still got a chance.
Yeah, you rallied the troop pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah, I tell you what, our offensive line started to play better. We've got to run the ball better to win this game. We've got to be able to run the ball, and we've got to keep our defense off the field. They're getting a little tired.
And you can't give them any points, can you?
No, we can't give. We've given them 14, so I think that's enough. I think we've spotted them enough.
Coach, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Tommy Tuberville's team, as he said, still very much in it, but very important that they do the job against this explosive Damian Craig-led offense in the opening drive.
Well, you know, you always wonder whether a coach wants to start on defense or start on offense. If you've got a great offense, you want to start with your offense. If you have a great defense, you want to start in defense. I almost think Tuberville would love to start on defense.
Steve Lindsey's kick takes a nice Sunday hop on Saturday, just over the head of Baker. And it's a touchback, and Auburn will open from the 20-yard line.
Well, the reason I say that, Tim, that he'd like to start on defense is his defense has really played hard in this first half. If he's able to hold Auburn and get good field position, then he takes a little bit of pressure off his offense driving the football. Now Auburn is going to come back and drive the football.
First half possessions, you see most of those, in fact, all of those touchdowns, 2 of them coming off of turnovers, the other helped by a personal foul penalty that kept the drive alive. But they start this time at their own 20-yard line. And it's a quick pitch. Nothing doing. Beasley tripped up prior to getting to the line of scrimmage. Walker Jones The strong linebacker. He, along with Jason Klingon, free safety, coming in there. Jones was once a strong safety, and then he moved to the strong linebacker position, gained about 10 to 15 pounds. Damian Craig picking up where he left off last week at Jordan-Hare Stadium against Fresno. He only played about a half in that game. It was 19 of 24. And he has been tremendous again this week.
And they love this no-huddle offense because it doesn't allow the defense to make changes.
Second down and 11. There's the pressure. Craig dumps it. Let's stop at or near the line of scrimmage again. Kevin McLeod, the fullback, junior out of Clarkston, Georgia, stopped by Brock Kreitz.
I thought on this play that Geno James may get a hold on the play. He's number 78. He kind of dove on the back of, you see him going down there, number 72 trainer. But again, let him make him throw the football, make him be under pressure, react quickly to the ball. But every time Damian Craig's got deep.
Very important third down conversion situation for the Ole Miss defense. They could help dictate tempo in this half with a stop here.
I think they're coming.
Craig with time. That pass is caught, and it's a first down at the 32-yard line.
Well, just when I thought they were coming, they went to a four-man rush. Didn't get a whole lot of pressure on Damian Craig. Allowed him to sit back there and run a little curl pattern out to the right of your screen, and he's wide open. Look at Craig under no pressure. This is just pitch and catch.
Robert Baker on the receiving end. He has been the favorite target today for Craig rather than Goodson, who had come into this game with 7 receptions last week, a career high against Fresno. First and 10, Craig will roll. Crossing pattern complete. Karsten Bailey, first down at the 45-yard line.
Boy, and when Craig runs that rollout pattern, he puts so much pressure on the corner and the safety, because what he does, now this is Karsten coming across the middle, Bailey, Karsten Bailey, number 5. But again, when Damian Craig runs that out, he's got that run-pass pattern. Do you come up and try to stop the run? If you do, he dinks it over top of your head. If you don't come up, he'll run the football.
Hicks Poor is coming to the game along with Bailey at one of the wide receiver positions. Poor flanked to the top of your screen. First down. Safety valve incomplete. Eric Lowe, that's his first attempt at a reception today, and he dropped it. Sophomore out of Lake Worth, Florida. It becomes now a guessing game for the defensive coordinator of this Ole Miss team, Art Kaufman. I'm sure he'd be saying right now, you know, we now have to guess right because we're not pressuring Damian Craig without a blitz.
No, they're not pressuring without a blitz, and if they blitz, sometimes you live by the blitz, and coaches will tell you you die by the blitz. Here they come.
Second and 10. Incomplete. Lowe, the intended receiver, and with the blitz comes added pressure. And that may have forced Craig to get rid of it a step too quick.
Exactly right. That's exactly what it did. Watch the pressure. See him moving late to the ball. They're all moving. They're trying to get as much pressure as they can. That's Kreitz in there, number 14. He's been all over the field today. Now's the big down, Tim. Third down and 10.
In the last third down and 11 sequence, they opted not to come with either the strong safety or linebacker. Pressure, pass incomplete. Johnny Jones, the defensive end, really came hard, number 92, out of South Panola in Batesville, Mississippi. He's got some great speed. I'm very impressed with Jones pressuring off the corner 92.
Yeah, this is good pressure. This is what you've got to do to a quarterback. You can't give him time to sit back there. You see all the twisting there? You see the numbers coming in there? There's 92 coming in there. That's Johnny Jones. And, of course, Nate Wayne got great pressure right up the middle.
Fourth and 10. Jared Holmes to punt it away. To Boris Fisher at his 15. Right up the middle. Down at the 25-yard line. A 41-yard punt, an 11-yard return. So the Rebels defense gets it done, allowing their offense an opportunity to creep back in it on a Magnolia Saturday.
Life. It's not the sort of thing that shuts down at 5. So at Bell South, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you ever need to reach us, just give us a call. Anytime. Bell South, it's all here.
See this label? This is the Gatorade. Look under the label for a chance to win SEC Championship tickets label. The Rush to the Sidelines label. Meaning 2 tickets. The Georgia Dome, the game, live instant SEC gratification. And a chance to be on the sidelines. The field. Any closer, you'd need mandatory life insurance. Feel the magnitude. This is big. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
It's not sleepy time down south anymore. Today, the region's economy is expanding, and investment opportunities are springing up right in our own backyard. Morgan Keegan, the South's leading investment firm, carefully tracks these opportunities, finding regional stocks and bonds that are tomorrow's blue chips. And Morgan Keegan brokers know if you want to attract a crowd, you have to pay attention to details. That's why smart Southerners come to Morgan Keegan for financial advice. Morgan Keegan, capital for the South.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 18, the eye. The eye gives the Advance Auto Parts salesperson amazing diagnostic powers.
Need new shocks?
The eye locates the correct part, and with part number 12, quickly remedies the situation.
Air conditioning.
At Advance Auto Parts, very few things get past part number 18. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
SEC football is brought to you in part by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
24-14, Terry Bowden looks on. His team's 24-0-1 when leading at halftime in his career of 4 years at Auburn. There are the numbers on head after 1 half. And remember, that one interception should have been a reception that Andre Rome let get away. And on the tip drill, Jason Bray returned it for a touchdown. Both quarterbacks have played well today. Cross buck this time coming to Artie Moore. Well, you really can't do anything when trying to run laterally against this Auburn defense. That second wave of defense just too strong with that linebacking core. Not a good start. Poor field position early. And, of course, some missed opportunities. But then after the play by Derek Jones that led to the 20-yard scoring drive to Hurd on the receiving end, things picked up a bit, and so did field position.
Yeah, it really did. They really changed the complexion of this football game. As Tommy Tuberville said, they could have quit. He has to be proud of his team to put up that kind of fight, because when you're down 14-0 to Auburn, ooh.
But can they get Mangum and Fisher involved in this offense in this drive? Fisher in motion. Well, no one will be involved in this play.
Oh, that's going to be 5 yards against the offense. Everybody moved except the center. He said, at least I wasn't offside.
Devon Coburn, the junior out of Knox Raider, Mississippi.
Ball start, offense, still second down.
And our officials' microphones are operative here in the second half. Let's go down to Bob Kessling. Bob?
Sam talking to Pete Boone yesterday. He talked about Tommy Tuberville, what he liked about him when he hired him. He said he knows there's a lot of guys out there with X's and O's, but he needed a guy who was more of a CEO for his football program, a guy who understands budgets and doesn't go over them, a guy who's a good PR guy, and a guy who's very good with people. And Tommy Tuberville fills all those, and he's done a terrific job here at Ole Miss so far.
I'll say 2nd and 15. Pass intercepted at the 32-yard line by Auburn.
I don't know. I thought it hit the ground.
Oh, they're going to rule that it did.
I thought it hit the ground.
Oh, and Martavius Houston was in position to pick that one off. And that is a break for Ole Miss, because he may have lost it on the way down, but it was primed for an interception.
Watch the ball, see if it touches. That's going to Mangum. See the ball touch the ground right there? Now, this is Mangum. This is the one they have to get to. Now, watch this right here. He thinks that's... No, that's not interference. I think he called the play right away. Said, no, it touched the ground.
I give Martavius Houston, though, some thespian points. He should be in the theater the way he came up with that. 3rd down and 15. Head. Sets up, and there's Fisher. They got him involved. First down, Ole Miss. at the 42, right on cue from Rose Rewind.
Well, the first two plays, go to Mangum, go to Fisher. They wanted Fisher to touch the ball 25 times. He's such a threat. You've got to get the football. Good pattern right here. Nice target. Catches that ball away from his body, bang, right in there, puts it away. That's what you've got to do. You've got to go back to the people who got you to the dance. And that's Fisher, that's Mangum.
Well, they're the veterans. They're seniors. Larry Bowden looks on. First down, 10. Ball at the 42-yard line of Ole Miss. Their first drive of the second half. Off the right side, Artie Moore. Stopped by Ricky Neal, number 50, out of Seabreeze in Daytona, Florida, a junior.
Boy, what a game he had against UAB. Oh, man, he was all over the place. Had 12 tackles. He's Mr. Inside. You know, and he doesn't get the credit. When you start looking at Mostello, you start looking at Spinks, then you got Neal. I guess Terry Solomon must say, I never get mentioned.
Yeah, Taquillo Spikes and Marcellus Mostella, they get all of the ink. As I mentioned, they're probably going to hurt one another in their quest for the Butkus Award. They'll split the votes in the Southeast. Hurd in motion. Head dumps it. Incomplete. Marker's down in the backfield.
And I think they were holding the nose tackle. Jimmy Brumbaugh, I think he just kind of got in there and might have been against Matt Luke. But I think you're going to see a hold here. Yep.
You're right. Jamie Brumbaugh was right there. He was a freshman all-SEC performer last year. This just his sophomore season out of Keystone Heights, Florida.
Well, we got to mention those nose tackles. Since I'm an old nose tackle, that's a tough position. You're in there on the center. You got those two guards there. 34 defense. Let's watch again. Maybe we can see it here, the tail end of this. Now that's 97. That's Smith going to the outside. 96 is Brumbaugh. See right there. Does he take him down? Yeah, I think he did take him down.
Yeah, Luke, it appeared, the center was taking him down.
Yeah, us old nose tackles, we spot that stuff.
Brumbaugh checks out. Smith and Suttle now are in there in that defensive alignment for Auburn. Very difficult to run on these guys.
Yeah.
As Artie Moore is finding out, they actually got more in that second touchdown drive than they probably anticipated, and Moore got most of them. Ricky Neal makes the tackle.
Well, you hope that the linebacker is going to bite on that misdirection play, and it comes cross. It's almost like the old cross buck they used to say. But Ricky Neal's one of those players. He reads his keys, and I think that's one thing that you really admire in defensive linemen and linebackers is that they have certain keys. They read those keys, they react to it. And there's the architect of read and react.
Noel Mazzoni, the offensive coordinator, told us that Bill Oliver puts the goo in Rue where defense is concerned. Head looking for Hurd deep. That one may have been picked off. It was at the 39-yard line, and Jason Bray gets his second pick of the afternoon.
Well, that's like about a 37-yard punt because it's a 37-yard interception. If you're going to have an interception, you throw it deep.
9:10 remaining in the third quarter. Both defenses up to the test early in the second half.
Before cars had phones, cup holders, or even roofs, Mobil Oil was there. When Lindbergh crossed the Atlantic, Mobil was on board. Mobil was in the world's first minivans, in the first space shuttle, and in the tanks of Desert Storm. So if you think that all oils are alike, think about something. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
refinements, more comfort, more standard features. You already know more is better. But in this case, it's better than ever. The new Toyota Camry. It'll be here in a flash.
Anytime you come to Oxford in the downtown square, you got to stop by Smitty's. Be it morning or afternoon, they serve up some of the finest Mississippi grits you'll ever find. And Miss Louise, always a gracious hostess. She should work for the Bureau of Tourism here. And Tommy Tuberville, upon getting the job, hired a couple of assistants, one from Maine, a couple from the Midwest in Minnesota. He made them go there, check out those grits.
Well, I know you eat grits, and I do too.
Damian Craig opens this drive, rolling to the right. Look at that button hook. And he's down at the 37-yard line. He's like a whirling dervish back there.
That was about a 25-yard run for a 1-yard loss. But you know, I love what Terry Bowden said. When in our conversations with him the other day, he is so open and so candid. He had great respect for this Ole Miss team. He said, but I'm going to go back to what my daddy said. I'm going to score as many as I can and try to keep them from scoring.
This offense that he's put in is very remindful of Florida State. A lot of play action. Sure. In fact, you can make a strong case. Even Tommy Tuberville will tell you that Craig is reminiscent of Charlie Ward. Over the middle to Goodson. Tyrone Goodson, we have not called his number that often today. That's a 21-yard reception. The free safety, Jason Klingon, redshirt freshman, made the tackle.
Yeah, when you have 12 catches and you're averaging almost 14 yards a carry, you're supposed to be mentioned. But again, look at the time that Craig has. Sit back in that pocket. Strong safety, a little bit too deep on the play. He's got to come up a little bit. But Goodson really knows what to do with the football when he gets it.
Baker back in the game at wideout. He's been the favorite target today, and this time it floats. And it's picked off. Jason Klingon on a wobbler floating in the air.
Well, two guys got tremendous pressure up the middle. I think it was Kreitz and I think it was maybe Nate Wayne, but that's what allowed, because when Damian Craig went to throw it, watch me, he's thrown off his back foot. See, he gets tremendous pressure right in his face. Look at the trajectory of the ball. See how it's wobbling? That's a lame duck. They're just all circling around underneath it.
Well, the Rebels have had some opportunities squandered defensively, but this time Baker, who had a couple of steps, had to come back and play defender here. But you're right, as the cliche goes, a wounded duck wobbling down into the awaiting arms of Klingon. 1st and 10 for the Rebels at the 32-yard line. Edwards in the game, and he goes in motion. Artie Moore follows him. You can just forget about it. Just absolutely forget about any play to the wide side of the field against this Auburn defense.
Well, you've got to get through. If you don't get through the line, then you can juke and do all you want, but you've got to get past those linemen. But I'll tell you this, they ain't going to do that. They ain't going to run by these Auburn Tigers. They play defense. You see him just run there. He broke about 4 tackles going wide.
But if you think about it, the only time they had any advantage in running the football, that first drive for a touchdown, Moore ran between the tackles.
Yeah, you've got to run, you've got to bust through the line and hope that you get a little seam, and then when you break into the secondary, then you can do your juke, but you're not going to outrun these guys.
Play fake head, has to dump it early, gets it to Mangum, very close to, and in fact, it appears as if he has the first down at the 42-yard line of Ole Miss.
I think they read our rewinds at halftime, because that's exactly what they've done to get them where they are. I mean, that's their football team. Fisher, Mangum, get the football to them. Let them touch the football. They make big plays. They make lots of things happen.
It appears as if they'll have to measure here. The nose of the football had appeared to have made the necessary yardage. Bob Kessling has an injury report for us. Bob?
Yeah, Tim, Auburn's missing a cornerback right now. Tyrese Williams suffered a contusion on his hip. They've got him hooked up with some electric nodes trying to get some stimulation to the hip, but he's out for the rest of this game. And of course, that's a blow to him because he's a Mississippi guy out of Moss Point.
Yeah, and remember, he came in for Rodney Creighton, who was injured and was unable to play today.
Hey, you know who's out of Moss Point? Robert Kayak.
That's right. That's right. Chancellor here at Ole Miss. Head. A rare opportunity and a good slide in safely at the 48-yard line in Auburn territory. An 11-yard gain on first down.
I have to tell you that because his brother, Robert Kayat's brother, Eddie Kayat, was my first coach for the New Orleans Saints as we watched this replay. But I'll tell you this, Eddie Kayat was one of the great gentlemen who played this game, as is Robert Kayat. They both played professional football. And today is Eddie Kayat's birthday. Now, there's a little bit of confusion there. You see Spikes and them running out there? All of a sudden, they don't know what to do. This is a big run for Ole Miss.
Ricky Neal and Spikes both crossed up that time. His head tucked it under. First and 10. Good cadence. That may give him a free 5. And you see between the tackles, they're able to negotiate. John Avery, who can make people miss, gets it inside the 45 to the 43.
Boy, heads-up play that time by Matt Luke. He's the center. Anytime you see that penetration, you snap that football. That's just a heads-up play.
So our problems continue, and we apologize for the difficulty we're having with Ron Gilbert's microphone. Don't forget, you don't want to miss the excitement of the SEC Eastern and Western Division champions as they square off in the 5th annual SEC Championship game December 7th in Atlanta. A limited number of tickets available by calling 1-800-732-4849. Up the middle between the tackles. Avery at the 40-yard line, 2 yards shy of a first down. Marcellus Mostella, the outside linebacker out of Gadsden that we've called so often, makes the stop.
Watch him put his hands on the football. Anytime you're in traffic here, this is a little trap play here. They trap number 97, Carson, in there. And again, he almost breaks it. But watch this. Put that other hand on the football. Don't lose that football.
There's Mostella on the sidelines now. Marcellus Mostella.
What's he doing over there? I want him out there. If I'm Auburn, I want him out there.
Extra defensive back on 2nd and 2. There's Avery. That should be a first down, or very near it. Nate Smith, the left defensive end, who backs up Shannon Suttle, junior from Shalimar, Florida, making the stop.
And interesting, inside the tackle, having a little bit of success, because what happens when that offensive lineman comes off there and he ties up the defensive lineman's got to get free. The hardest play, every defensive lineman will tell you, is that one, that quick hitter. Gets to you right away. You can't get off your block and get your arms out there. You're trying just to arm tackle. So run straight ahead.
Well, we made the point earlier that the one area that Terry Bowden is concerned with in his defense is the down 3 in this 34 set that Bill Oliver had. If you run sideline to sideline, you're allowing linebackers to take over, and that's the Auburn strength.
Well, the strength of the 34 defense, and I played that a lot in the professional football, is your 4 deep linebackers. Your 4 linebackers, they run, they flow. All you want your 3 front linemen to do is to make points of attack where you don't allow them to step through.
Andre Roan, who's had a drop and the tip that was intercepted by Bray, back in the game for the first time, up at the top of your screen, number 5. And on first down, Head sees something he doesn't like and opts for the timeout. 4:59 remaining here in the third. It's a 10-point game in Oxford. Back after these words from your local SEC station. The drive update. Reason to be pumped up, ladies. 6 plays, 31 drives, 31 yards on a 2:35 off of the clock. First and 10 at the 37. Head looking for Mangum, forces it into him for a first down. Boy, he had plenty of time to work with there. But we mentioned Mangum at halftime in Rose Rewind. He already has 3 catches in the third quarter. Houston made the stop.
That was an outstanding play. He was going to him all the way. Look, he never looks back. He just slides, waits for him to make that little break. He's got a lot of confidence in him. He's a big target. You go to him in a crunch, and he produces.
Artavius Houston is down on the field, and that would be a critical blow to Auburn. He is the veteran of this very young defensive backfield. 2 interceptions already this year, 1 in each game versus Auburn and Fresno coming in.
Hey, boy, look who just joined us in this booth. I'll tell you right now.
Martavius Houston is still being tended to by the Auburn trainers. One of the things about this Auburn secondary, not only are they young, but they're very active. These are guys that come up and help in run support. They help tremendously in run support. So that's a critical blow. John Vaught, my goodness gracious. 87 years young, right, Johnny?
That's exactly right.
The legendary coach of the Ole Miss Rebels has joined us, and Houston is up, and that is good news. Johnny, you now have become much more active in the Ole Miss program since the arrival of Tommy Tuberville. Why don't you tell us why?
Well, just because he asked me. He asked me to come out and join them, and I have, and I enjoy that very much. You know, I feel at home here at Ole Miss, and I love Ole Miss, and if I could ever do anything for them, certainly I want to. And it's a matter of just personnel and that sort of thing that I know. In fact, about 5 or 6 of these people out here playing in this ball club, his father played for me.
Yeah, you're right. Let's show what you've done for this program in your 25 seasons. Now, those national titles were not AP or UPI, but they were Grantland Rice Trophy-like and recognized by the NCAA. The 6 SEC titles, magnificent coaching legend in the southeastern portion of the country. It's great to have you with us, and we're enjoying it here.
Thank you.
1st and 10 now for Head. Looking long for Fisher, and it's intercepted in the end zone. That one hung up a bit too long, and Antoine Nolan picked it off, the true freshman from Sharpsburg, Georgia.
Well, this is a critical play for Ole Miss. You can't give this up when they had great position here, but Nolan just zeroes under it. The ball's too high on the trajectory. It just doesn't have any zip on it. Again, here's the route. Now, see, that ball's already up there. Look at it. It's way overthrown. Cornerback just circling underneath it. That's a killer, Coach.
It's a killer.
That's a killer.
They've had some bad breaks on that sort of thing. Of course, that's a performance.
So the post corner does not work for Head this time, and a rare mistake by him. The earlier interception came off a tip. That's the first poor pass he's thrown today.
It is.
Coach, I was wondering who that youngster was on the left side of that screen when we showed those your record there. I think that was you a few months back.
Well, it had to be a few months back.
Beasley carries it up to the 30-yard line, and I think the officials helped bring him down, or at least obstruct his line of sight. Should be enough for a first down, and the Tigers now have the ball at the 30-yard line.
Okay, Coach, what are you going to do in this situation? You're on defense.
Well, I'm going to stop him. That's for sure.
All right. Hey, I like that. Football hasn't changed in all these years.
No, it hasn't changed. I think they got to penetrate some linebackers.
Well, he gets a couple, and that now is a first down. He was a bit shy, about a half yard away. So on 2nd and short, Auburn comes away with a first down. But, Johnny, it's been mentioned many times that Tommy Tuberville is very much a coach of the 90s and has brought a new era of head coaching to Ole Miss, probably the first such case in the modern era.
Well, I think that's definitely true. Tommy Tuberville is a great football coach, great college football coach. I like everything he's doing, and he's going to win. He's a winner, no doubt about it.
Beasley takes that flare pattern to about the 32-yard line. Martavius Houston is being escorted to the locker room. The good news is he seems to be on most of his own power. That's good news. He's coming back from the locker room, it appears.
Well, usually in a situation like this, when you see a back walking like that, I think he's going to the locker room. Usually he's turned an ankle and they want to retape it or something along that line. But it doesn't look like he's injured.
2nd down and 9 for Damian Craig. Craig gets away from one. Lets it fly for Baker. Look out! Robert Baker, touchdown Auburn. And Damian Craig does it again. Boy, once he rolls away from traffic and gets outside your containment, that's where he's dangerous.
He is absolutely a two-dimensional player in that he's got that run-pass look. When he rolls out, you're going to see him roll out to the right of your screen under pressure. Now, square up those shoulders and watch the float on that ball. And now, just right in stride. You don't even see the receiver break stride. And, Coach, that juice still flies in you because I can hear you going, oh, boy.
Yeah, I did. That kid's got a strong arm. He put that ball in there.
I remember a guy used to do that for you named Archie Manning.
Yeah, that's we've done it many times right here.
And our score now 31-14. Auburn leads by 17. Coach Vaught, thanks for taking time out to join us.
Thank you. It's nice to be with you.
Dave, one last look here.
Yeah, this is just a fly pattern, and he thought the safety was going to come over, and the safety came over, but he just didn't stay with him. And look at that ball. That ball, you can't throw the ball any better if you're standing back in the pocket. But think of this, Damian Craig is running when he does this. Now he runs to his left. Look at him square up those shoulders and watch him just float this ball out. That's as well as you can throw the ball on the run to allow the wide receiver not even have to break stride. Just outstanding football.
The reaction from Craig, as you might expect. He can throw off the wrong foot. He can do anything for you, as he does right there. And Auburn extends their lead. Our many thanks to Johnny Vaught, the legendary coach of the Ole Miss Rebels, for stopping by.
Thank you, Coach.
Tough for him to endure watching.
Oh, gosh, of all the plays he had to be up here, he was hoping it was going to be a score the other way.
Well, you think back now to the interception in the end zone, and then they returned the favor by throwing a touchdown the other way, a 14-point swing off that interception in the end zone. And the kick taken by Fisher. To Morris, manages the 22, bounces off a couple, headed for the sideline. Finally corralled at the 35-yard line, so the Rebels get quality field position. Haven Fields made the stop after a 33-yard return by Fisher. Now with 2:51 left in the third, almost a must drive coming up for the Rebels of Ole Miss.
Well, you talk about turnarounds and turnovers and what they lead to. That was an incredible series of events. Ole Miss going in for a score. They throw that interception. And, of course, Auburn, this great football team that Auburn has. They're a nationally ranked team, and they turn it right around and have the scoring drive.
Terry Bowden's got to be awfully proud of Damian Craig, who's really come of age as an SEC quarterback. So draw Artie Moore up to the 45-yard line, very close to a first down. Antoine Nolan made the tackle. And again, a reminder, it was Nolan that made the interception of the head pass in the end zone. And only 4 plays later, it's Baker on a 67-yard reception from Damian Craig.
When you think of Damian Craig, you think he's only a junior. He's got another year.
3 touchdowns off of turnovers, and Craig has been able to respond quickly with those touchdown passes.
Well, I think that's the mark of a really poised quarterback who's in control of himself, is when things don't go well, he doesn't lose his composure. He stays right with his game plan and completes plays.
Pass tipped into the air and incomplete. I know the fans are booing there, but Nolan has every right to get in Adams' face after that ball is tipped into the air.
Absolutely.
That ball is once deflected, you're not going to get an interference penalty.
And Nolan's he's one of those freshmen back there, so it's a lot of youth back there. They've got, starting into the game, Bray is a sophomore, Houston's a sophomore, Taylor's a sophomore, Creighton was a freshman, Nolan's a freshman, Ware's a freshman. You only got one old guy back there. He's a junior.
Up the middle, and a lot more on the ground between the tackles. We've seen that in the last 2 drives. Artie Moore carrying one more time for the Rebels.
And anytime you have a defensive line coming off as hard as Auburn is, they're just flying off the football. All the offensive linemen have to do is just turn them. Then you need your back to have a lot of vision. You give him the ball 3-4 yards deep in the backfield so that when he takes that ball and he's at full speed, he can see that seam, make that little adjustment, and burst through into the secondary. That's the way you have success.
Moore has 42 yards on 14 carries. DeBoris Fisher in the slot, now in motion. Moore again running behind the right side and finds some room. That's the first time we've seen the Rebels run wide successfully today. Boyd Kitchen, Shannon Proventure, and others along that right side helping to create a wall for him to work with.
I was wondering if that was Billabrew that got that great block at the wideout. He just totally took the corner down on that play. I think it was Damon Billabrew.
Let's go down to Bob Kessling. Bob?
You know, a lot of fans might be wondering about Robert Reed, where he's the transfer from Arkansas. Well, Reed has played some quarterback for Ole Miss, but he injured his elbow, can't extend his arm. He's also played some wide receivers, so Coach Tuberville is trying to make the decision whether or not they might redshirt him this year or try and force him into action. They hope he one day will be a quarterback here at Ole Miss, but right now he's struggling with those arm problems.
He was a starting quarterback on opening day for Arkansas, you'll recall, and then Barry Lunney got the call and led the Razorbacks to the surprising SEC Western Division Championship last year. But Reed is a do-everything quarterback and can certainly put a lot of added pressure on the defensive line because he's a scrambler back there once he becomes available for Tommy Tuberville.
Now, if I'm Paul Head in this situation, I go for it. I do that little play-action fake. I roll out. I look downfield. I try to throw a long one. Second down, an inch to go. I can always make it on third.
Play fake. Are they listening? Are they listening? Incomplete. And again, a short arm job by Avery this time. If he extends, he makes the catch.
Oh, I love the play. I like the call. It's a good, safe call. Again, a little play action in there. What you do is you fake it to the back. Now, roll out, set up that little short roll pocket, look back. Again, that ball just right there, right off the fingertips.
You got to make that catch.
Yes, you do.
Artie Moore running again off that right side, following Anding, who had come into the game as the motion back, number 7 in red. And Nate Wayne was back in there as the lead blocker, the linebacker. The numbers problem that Tuberville is dealing with is on offense more so than defense. That's evident.
Well, he's good.
In the SEC, you need 2.5 players per position, and right now, with only 58 scholarship athletes on his roster, he's at about 1.5.
Yeah, don't think Terry Bowden didn't know that. He said, if we can get to their second line players, we think we can wear them down.
First down, 10, Fisher in motion. If you just can't run left against Auburn today. 97, Mark Smith, senior from Vicksburg, Mississippi. And on that pile.
This is good play along. You play across the face right there. Just get into the play. It's exactly what coaches teach you, and that's what Mark Smith does. You hit into your blocker, you hit, you slide, you keep your shoulders square, you play across the face, and you use those big pistons that you got at the top of your shoulders to bring them down.
Second down and 12 at the 32-yard line of Auburn. Critical possession for Ole Miss. The closing seconds of the third quarter.
No, I'm going back to Mangum.
Over the middle to Hurd. Inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. It will be third down and a passing situation coming up when Ole Miss returns. Down 31-14 in this Bell South SEC game of the week. Tigers lead it. We'll be back after a word from Bell South.
Babondito. Parce que me voulait faire jeune gens, même gens y est là.
Language. It's how we communicate with each other. But not all of us speak the same one. So at Bell South, we have people you can reach who speak several languages, whether it's Creole or even English.
I'm so glad you have me good.
Bell South, it's all here.
Better shop around. Oh yeah, you better shop around. Oh yeah, you better shop around. You better shop around. Oh yeah, you better shop around. Shop around.
Advance Auto Parts is proud to be a corporate donor to the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. Over the past 2 months, Advance Auto Parts stores throughout the southeastern region of the United States have raised over $475,000 to fight the disease. Today, we'd like to salute the Rucker Road store in Enterprise, Alabama for its efforts in this fight. Advance Auto Parts and the Juvenile Diabetes Foundation, together, walking for the cure.
Fourth quarter action set to get underway here in Oxford, Mississippi, with Dave Rowe and Bob Kessler and Tim Brando. Chris Mangum on 3rd down and 8 would likely be a favorite target for Paul Head. And you can bet this is 4-down territory with a 17-point cushion for Auburn.
I don't think after a timeout they didn't tell the Auburn players. Watch number 82. Watch DeBoris Fisher, number 10.
Head rolls. The pass is caught at the 20. That's a first down. Corey Peterson with his first reception of the game. Jason Bray makes the stop. So a very important 3rd down conversion. You see our Burger King 3rd quarter stats, passing yards, and there have been some big ones for Damian Craig. 247 for him today.
Boy, that's surprising, that rushing total. You're talking about a team, Auburn, who averages 5 yards a carry. Last year they ran for 2,158 yards on the ground. This year they've got almost 500 yards after the first 2 games. And today they've got 70. That's amazing.
Corey Peterson stays in the game. He's joined by Mangum and Fisher up at the top of your screen. Trips formation for Ole Miss. Quick pitch, Avery. He can jitterbug. Watch him down that sideline. Inside the 15 to the 13. Brad Ware, the free safety, was able to usher him out of bounds.
Nice play selection here from the end zone. Let's watch it. Get on outside. Nice cut back inside here.
Hey, how about that block by Fisher?
Yeah, I was just looking at that. That was a good block by DeBoris Fisher, number 10. He's on the strong safety, who's Ryan Taylor.
Hurd back in the game, 88. This is the position on the field where they like to work on him to utilize that size. Little flare out to Avery. Avery, touchdown! Oh, they cleared out with those tall receivers to make room for Avery, didn't they?
Yes, they certainly did. They ran him on a crossing pattern to take the strong safety and to take the corner away. You're going to see him coming in a crossing pattern, and he swings them out here. You see those wide receivers all blocking downfield? That's great. Wide receivers block downfield. They love it on film day.
Now remember, that will be credited as a run because the pass was in fact a lateral behind the line of scrimmage. So it's a 13-yard run for a touchdown for Avery, the junior college transfer from Asheville, North Carolina. The Rebels not done yet against the Tigers.
How race car driver Bill Elliott eats a Reese's peanut butter cup.
Awesome.
Clear! There's no wrong way to eat a Reese's.
The Outback is all Madden country. And out here, they have their own kind of tailgating. Outbacking. Check out that perfect end-over-end. That's all Madden. These seasoned pros are ready to go. That's all Madden. And there's no penalty for piling on.
You'll always find a great steak and a great time at Outback Steakhouse.
One thing I never hear in the Outback is, that's all, Madden.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
See this label? This is the Gatorade. Look under the label for a chance to win SEC Championship tickets label. The rush to the sidelines label. Meaning 2 tickets. The Georgia Dome, the game, live, instant SEC gratification. And a chance to be on the sidelines. The field. Any closer, you'd need mandatory life insurance. Feel the magnitude. This is big. Life is a sport. Drink it up. Yeah!
Reese's Nutrageous is pager compatible. It's an autofocus camera with instant red eye reduction. Nutrageous is a 3-way bulb that keeps you warm in the winter, cool in the summer. Nutrageous bounces 50 feet in the air.
When's it coming down?
Folks, I'm Dave Edwards, and our 97s are starting to come in, and that's great, but we still got bunches of 96s that need to go home with somebody. So to help us do that, we've got brand new T100 full-size extra cabs for $209 per month with our lease purchase plan. Brand new Tacoma 4x4 is $189 per month. Regular Tacoma is $129 per month. That's a T100 extra cab $209, a 4x4 at $189, or regular Tacoma at $129 per month. Only at Dave Edwards Toyota, where any Toyota adds a Dave Edwards Toyota ad.
40,456 on their feet. Ole Miss responds with a touchdown to stay in it. Hines, Tucker, and Baker back deep as Steve Lindsey prepares to kick for the Rebels. I don't know if he missed it. I don't know if he missed it or if it was an onside kick in the first place. I think it might have been, and he missed the onside kick.
Yeah, it has to go 10 yards. All he had to do was just dribble it, and it did not go 10 yards. It only went 9 yards.
Well, what an error. And they've made their fair share today. He topped it. He topped it.
Yeah.
It's like a heel job in golf.
Well, it has to go 10 yards. You see them all right there. They would have recovered it. All it had to do was go 10 yards. He almost missed it.
Poor Tommy Tuberville. You know, you put your best players in a position to make great things happen. And a bit of a Mississippi Riverboat gamble there by doing it. And they were in position to recover, but you have to kick it 10 yards.
Look how close it is to the 45-yard line. It was like 6 inches away from going 10 yards.
The end result, Auburn in the plus side of the playing field. Beasley gets at least 5, maybe 6 yards, as the Tigers can now go back to the old style of ball control. Let that clock tick as we're now in the fourth quarter. And a scoring drive for Ole Miss, as we mentioned at the top of the drive, late in the third, a must-make for them. They convert a couple of key third downs, and then Avery, the 13-yard run off the lateral behind the line of scrimmage by quarterback Paul Head.
And I want to tell you, Tim, I think the call was a marvelous call. I think that's what you do in that situation. You just have to execute. It has to go 10 yards.
Second down, 5. Beasley again. Good cutback, but he runs right into number 90. Number 80, Al Rice. Rice has been very active today. Both he and Brock Kreitz at that weak linebacker have been very effective.
Boy, watch the head on Beasley. Watch this when he gets stuck right here. Bam! Boy, that's a big hit.
Third down and a yard to go. And a power formation coming up.
Yeah, I think he's got a stinger. That's called a stinger. That's called a stinger when that burns down your hands.
All right, Big Dunnigan, T.J. Dunnigan, 6'4", 270. is the up back in the slot left. This is their power run formation with twin tight ends. And they go to the other side. And Beasley makes a great play. Down the sidelines, there's no support. Touchdown, Auburn. 36 yards for Fred Beasley.
And Beasley was hit in the backfield. He could have gone down, but he didn't go down. The difference between good backs and great backs is like that. When Beasley did not go down, great backs don't go down. He got stuck in the backfield. That's just amazing.
Eli Anding, number 7, came through from the strong linebacker spot and made this hit, and he just bounces right off.
Well, what Ole Miss did is they sold out on that inside run. They just said they're going to run from tackle to tackle. They sold out on the inside run. When he bounced to the outside, he had nothing but daylight.
Third touchdown rushing for Fred Beasley, the junior from Lee High School in Montgomery, Alabama. And you know, the offensive coaches chart at Auburn, the number of yards gained after contact. And Beasley, through the years, has been one of the best in that category.
That was just a tremendous run because he could have gone down. Watch to the right of your screen, the top. Right there, he could have gone down. But he doesn't go down, and he clears the corner, and there's nobody out there. Ole Miss had sold out inside. They just knew he was going to run from tackle to tackle. You can't lose containment on the play. And you have to credit Auburn. Boy, this Auburn team, you look across the line on that front line there. You got James and Riley and Kiger, Thomas and Rowe. They all grade out in the high 80s every week. They're just an outstanding football team.
If you think this is good, and it is, how about next week? Next Saturday on your local Jefferson Pilot station, our Bell South SEC Game of the Week, the Alabama Crimson Tide looking for revenge against Arkansas on a very pivotal day in the Southeastern Conference. Alabama, Arkansas early. A little later, it's Florida, Tennessee. And then that night, Auburn, LSU. You talk about moving Saturday in September in the Southeastern Conference. It'll be moving Saturday next week. The kick from Jared Holmes comes down to Taboris Fisher a few yards deep in the end zone. First down and 10. We touched on the problems for Terry Bowden, that 5th cervical vertebra. And Bob Kessling has an injury report on the coach.
Yeah, this is Dr. Larry Lemack. Can you give us the update on Coach Bowden's neck situation?
Coach Bowden's doing pretty good with his neck. He, of course, has a herniated disc, but he's being treated conservatively right now, and he's responding pretty well to it.
And more treatment for him on Monday?
Yes, we're going to try another block on Monday and see if we can alleviate most of his symptoms.
And I guess what you want to try to do, avoid surgery, especially in the middle of the season.
Absolutely. If we can avoid surgery, we're going to do it.
Were you surprised that this thing suddenly sprung up here in the middle of the season, or the start of the season?
Yes, he wasn't having too many symptoms before it started.
Just slept on it wrong, he says?
That's correct.
And Larry, we'll hope get him well, okay?
Well, we're going to work on it. We need him.
All right, orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Larry Lemack.
All right, Bob, thank you. First and 10 for Ole Miss from their 20-yard line. The game's about a yard or two. Well, what a time to get a pain in the neck if you're a head coach. Ryan Taylor makes the stop. My wife, Terry, at home is suffering from problems with her fifth cervical vertebra. And the physical therapy, that along with the medication that's needed just to allow you to sleep, is a very difficult thing to have to endure anytime. And when you're coaching, the stress levels do go up a little bit.
Well, I had a herniated disc, and I played 9 years after I had it operated on. So you can come back and play. Of course, Terry's not going to play, but you can come back and coach real well too.
It's 2nd down and 8. Ed flushed out of the pocket, needs some help. None of the receivers really were that active in coming back to try to help him. You know, thinking of those days when you played and you had to come back from injuries, you looked a little different that day.
Oh, gosh.
You know, you really did.
Oh, look at that clean-shaven guy. Now, I know where you got that. Langston brought that up.
Langston Rogers, the sports information director at Ole Miss, remembers those clean-shaven days in Boston. As opposed to that gruff look that you had with the Raiders.
But you know how much that card is worth? I mean, it's worth probably 60 times what it originally was.
I'm a little upset that he didn't have you as a rookie with the Saints. I know Langston's old enough to remember that. 3rd down and 8. Time for head. Across the middle and complete. Taboris Fisher, look out. Bounced off a couple of tacklers and managed forward progress to the 44. 1st and 10, Ole Miss, a 22-yard hookup.
Again, when they roll out, they get out of that pressure. Watch that nice square up right here. Stop, square up, look downfield, deliver that strike. Now Fisher's got to put the ball away. That's quite a hit. And he almost comes out of there.
Jason Bray made that hit.
Boy, you start thinking what ifs. What if Ole Miss hadn't had that initial fumble? What if they didn't have that penalty? What if they didn't have that later interception?
And we've got movement again in that offensive front. That'll back them up. Omar Edwards, the left guard, it appeared.
Ball before the snap. False start. On the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Now that look of exasperation says it all for Tommy Tuberville.
You know, you have to give a lot of credit to this Ole Miss offensive line. Everybody knows they're going to have to pass the football. They don't have that real running back, that real threat at running back at the fullback spot. And those guys only allowed 6 sacks in the last 6 games. That's pretty daggone good.
1st down and 15 with the ball now at the 39. Ed brings Rome at the flanker position in a trips formation. All 3 of them you see at the top of your screen. Quick drop. Pass is intended and caught by Mangum at the 42-yard line. Now that is a much more difficult reception than it really appears, because he had already made his move. Pass appeared to float just a bit, and Mangum had to make the adjustment.
Well, I don't know that Mangum was looking back when the ball was thrown. Right here, he starts picking it up. Now, see, he's backing up. Good concentration. It's what you want in that wide receiver. That's why he's such a threat. He's a big target coming off the line, but he also has got great concentration. He's got those soft hands. He looks the ball in, He's got everything you need to play this football game.
They've had a great tradition of tight ends here at Ole Miss. Artie Moore cracks through to the 41. Did you see how quickly 97 Mark Smith had gotten into the backfield? Wow, did he get in there?
They're penetrating.
Speaking of tight ends, you think of Wesley Walls, who went to Mississippi, of course, later an outstanding NFL tight end with the New Orleans Saints and now the Carolina Panthers. Pickup of 3 on that last play, 2nd down and 7. Hurd, the 6'3" freshman, number 88 now up at the top of your screen. Out of the shotgun. Quick slant for Edwards, and a flag comes down.
I was going to say that deserves a flag.
Darrell Riggins, the strong safety on his back. Lawrence Adams was the intended receiver, number 17.
I see Matt Luke got hurt again, number 50.
Pass interference on the defense. First down, spot of the ball.
Yeah, Luke has to leave, and that'll bring up Eric Bubrig again at the center position.
Now watch, left of your screen, see right there. Can't do that, can't hit him before the ball gets there. But sometimes, you know, that's not a bad play, especially in college football, because it's not at the point, it's a distance penalty. If that guy takes about 2 more steps, he breaks all the way. It's a lot better to give up that little 5-yard penalty.
Riggins was named the SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Year as a freshman last season. Strong safety from Fort Pierce's Central High School in Florida. First down, 3-step drop. That pass deflected in the air, but Rome comes away with it. So some redemption, and another flag comes down.
I'm wondering if that's not a face mask penalty, because when he tackled him, it looked as if he tackled him up high and might have pulled on that face mask. But that was good concentration by Rome.
Antoine Nolan, perhaps a little too much ferocity in that takedown, will lead to the penalty.
Well, they're marking it off. Maybe it's a illegal roughness or something.
Yeah, I think it is a personal foul.
Yeah, they're marking.
Personal foul.
Yep.
On the defense. Half the distance. First down.
Let's take a look at that again. Going to be over to the right of your screen. Now it's on the tail end. Now there's the tip. There's the tackle. Now watch right here. See, he's got him right there, and then throws him down to the ground. I think it's the slam that caused him. There's Bowden reacting with the catch. Now, well, I thought we were going to see a big reaction when he saw the penalty flag come down.
Just under 10 minutes left, and Ole Miss again in scoring position. Head, pump fake, looking for Rome, in the corner. Incomplete. Covered by Marlon Taylor, 26. The right cornerback, sophomore, out of Smith Station, Alabama.
That's good defense right there. You're one-on-one. That was a fake pump. You don't want to let him get deep on you. And Taylor just doesn't allow him to get into position. He stuffs him to the outside.
Bob Kessling has another injury update.
Yeah, Tim, they took Houston, as we mentioned earlier, to the locker room. Apparently, he's still suffering from cramps. They've got IVs in him. They're trying to get fluids in him, and they hope to get him back in the game later, but he's still in the locker room right now.
2nd and 10. Play fake, head with time, looking for Mangum. Incomplete. They're going to give him the touchdown. He was forced out of bounds. Yes, a quality overrule by the linesman. You can't force the receiver out of play, and Marlon Taylor did that, and Mangum gets the touchdown for the Rebels.
Yeah, the question is, would his feet have come down from inbounds? And the official said yes. Right of your screen, watch Mangum, 82. Right there, he catches it. You see the foot drag right there. He got the push in the back. They said he would have come down in bounds had he not gotten pushed out of bounds. So they gave him the touchdown.
5 catches for 68 yards for Mangum, and 57 of those have come in the second half. 38-28. Ball head, picking him up, keeping his head in the game, and the fans in it as well.
I'll stop the world and melt with you. You've seen the difference, and it's getting better all the time. I'll stop the world and melt with you.
know, you can get a can of beans anywhere, but when you come in my store, I'm going to bag them better than anybody else.
Win-Dixie.
Not a boring job.
Low prices. That's our promise. That's our promise. That's America's supermarket.
Everyday low prices.
Win-Dixie.
For everyday life.
Every day.
To achieve excellence in automobile manufacturing takes planning and designing. Each new detail takes years to develop, years of constant changes and refinements. It'll probably take you about 5 minutes to decide you want one. The new Toyota Camry. It'll be here in a flash.
Still very much involved in this game for obvious reasons. When you think of all the mistakes by Ole Miss, and yet they're still only down 10 with 9:28 remaining. There's the scoring drive, 80 yards. Mangum on the receiving end, 3:10 off the clock. Important for Ole Miss that they score and not utilize too much time.
And, you know, I think this whole game started with crossing that grove. The enthusiasm of that crowd. They've kept it up in this football game.
Here's Baker, who has really been a big playmaker today for Auburn. He's up to the 23-yard line. Between he and Craig, they are the ones responsible for this game being where it is. A little extracurricular activity along that sidelines. We may have seen a marker down. We did. We have a marker down. Don't forget the Outback Getaway. Spend New Year's Day at the Outback Bowl. Send a postcard with your name, address, and phone number to the address on your screen. Register to win a trip for two, including game tickets, hotel, and airfare. The winner announced during the SEC Game of the Week, November 30th. Must be 21 years of age to enter. Emotions getting the better end of Auburn in the later stages of this game.
Henry was holding, I think.
Yep. Holding on the return. They did a nice job of breaking up that little extracurricular activity along the sidelines, but the hold now spots them back inside the 10. A great opportunity for the Ole Miss defense.
Sure is. If they can hold them here, they know they'll get good field position, middle of the field, and they know they can score.
Beasley's been the workhorse, but nothing doing this time.
Oh, and you will know by the fans if it's a good play or a bad play, because if it's a good play, you're going to hear a roar. If it's a bad play, you're going to hear silence.
Kenny Juden, 52, redshirt freshman, made the stop.
Well, this is his feet slip out a little bit right there. You see him, he goes down a little bit on his own. But for Ole Miss, that's second down and 10. They know they have 2 more downs to hold him.
Second and 10. Incomplete. He was out of bounds. Tyrone Goodson, the wide receiver. Terry Bowden there with John Cooley, 15, the backup quarterback. He gives him the play, and then he signals it in. The Ole Miss coaching box that you see there. Very active. That's Art Kaufman.
And this is where Damian Craig can hurt you so bad. He wants to get the crowd up. That's Tommy Tuberville. That's the man can really hurt you, because remember, he has that running ability.
Third and 10. He does not break contain. Stopped at the 10. Listen to this crowd. Yeah, I'd sweat too, Terry. I'd wipe the brow. 4th and 3 coming up. Auburn will have to punt from its end zone. Jared Holmes will do the honors. Taboris Fisher is back deep. Single safety for Ole Miss at midfield.
Oh, and we know what Taboris Fisher can do with returns.
First punt of the second half for either team. Good hang time here. Fisher backed up all the way to his 37. Right back up the middle. And down at the Auburn 45. 52-yard punt for Holmes. A 12-yard return for Fisher. Brad Ware made the stop.
Tim, right now you know what they have to do. They've got to stay with Mangum. He's got him in the football game. They've got to go back to Fisher, run a little bit with Artie Moore to keep him honest, but it's all on that man's shoulders, head. He needs to come up and find him.
Mangum checks in. He has been the focal point of this Ole Miss offense. Remember now, Bubrick is in at center. Luke has been out with that bad back. Head, quick hitch, out to Fisher. Nice idea, but Auburn right there waiting for it. Those little quick hitches are designed to try to beat the linebackers as they slide laterally east to west. But many times today, Fisher's been unable to do that. '72 Orlando Trainer. A defensive player. Actually, it's Boyd Kinchin, 78, who is a tackle. The right tackle has now moved to center rather than Bubrick. They need as many veteran linemen on that offensive front as possible for Ole Miss.
Oh, offsides.
A free one for Head. Mangum is free, first down.
Oh, man, what a catch on the sideline. High in the air, just got those feet down in bounds. Head knew he just knew that he had a free play. He saw that flag go down.
Oh, it was definitely a free one. The Auburn linemen were running around like a Chinese fire drill prior to that snap.
Offside, defense, first down.
And they were hopping all over the place.
Watch this, an out pattern right here, drive deep now, go out. Watch the concentration here. High, now get those feet down in bounds. You see that 1 foot, he gets that right foot just inbound.
5 of his 6 catches in this half for a total of 80 yards for Mangum. First and 10. This is a broken play. Head has to eat it. 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Mark Smith covered him there, number 97.
Well, one thing Auburn did on that play is they brought the 2 strong backers up in the middle and they fake blitz, and I think what Head thought was if I can get outside I might get a clear path. It didn't work.
I'll tell you, an interested viewer of today's game as Terry Bowden and Tuberville go at it is Jerry DiNardo. He's getting a real look at where Auburn's defense might be susceptible, as Ole Miss has exploited them here in the second half.
I go right back to Mangum. If I'm Head, I go right back to Mangum. He's been the big target.
Second and 14, there's the blitz. Head, that should be ruled a fumble. And I believe Auburn's got it at the 41.
Yeah, the ball never came forward. The ball came off his hand. He tried to throw it to avoid the loss, and when he did, the ball just came straight out the top of his hand. And look at Tommy Tuberville. You talk about dejection.
Mark Smith forces it, and Marcellus Mostella is on top of it for the recovery.
You can see that arm never came forward with the ball. That's pure fumble all the way. Again, let's watch it. Now watch the arm. See if it comes forward. Right there. No, the ball's out. That's a good call.
And Mostella right on top of it. The Auburn defense up to the task. Look at those turnovers. There's your ball game right there if you're an Ole Miss fan. 5 committed by the Rebels today. Quick pitch to Beasley. Good cutback, and look out. Markers down in the backfield as Beasley is ushered out inside the Ole Miss 30.
Boy, Terry Bowden knows that where that flag is thrown, it's almost holding on the backside.
Yeah, he knows it.
Might have been the tight end coming down the line who was holding. That might have been recovery.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
So that backs them up to the 31-yard line.
This is the tail end of that play. That may have been the hold right there. I saw the flag come in there.
Yeah, Jesse McCovery.
Yeah, there might have been McCovery to tight end. I have to tell you, Kim Anderson spotted that. He was flashing to me that was a tight end.
Well, he's got the best eyes in the business. First down, 20. Nice bounce out there. Sincade Pennington in the game along with Eric Hines Hunter. That's Hines Tucker. Eric Hines Tucker, junior college transfer with a nice bounce out for 16 yards.
Well, if you don't wrap him up, he's going to pick up yardage, and he does a nice job on this. Get down again, get those shoulders upfield, start picking up that yardage. He's a senior playing behind Beasley.
So on a 1st and 20, they get 16. 2nd down and 4. Checked off at the line by Damian Craig. Eric Hines Tucker again. And the Rebels defense now showing some signs of fatigue as Nate Wayne finally was able to drag him to the turf. Few arm tackle attempts in this sequence.
Yeah, you gotta hit people like this square up. That's Nate Wayne, 41 in the middle of your screen. He's the middle backer. He's got to slide to the play. He's got to move over to it. Didn't get there in time.
1st down and 10 now for Auburn. 5:15 and counting from Vaughn Hemingway Stadium. First back through, that's McLeod. And there again, another indication of the Auburn strength now here in the late going, as the Mississippi defense is now being dragged for a couple of yards by running backs.
And Tim, you know what fans are like out there. We get stats from everybody. I mean, I was walking through the Grove and people were giving me stats, but some of those Auburn fanatics, Bill and Marilyn Pennington and Stephen Patsy Parker, they were just jamming stuff. They told Kim, they said, here, take this whole suitcase full of stats about Auburn.
2nd and 4. Clock winding down on Craig. Gets it off in time. He's going to use as much of it as possible. Beasley, great cutback. 1st down at the 15-yard line. Timothy Strickland, the free safety, comes up to make the stop. Another 16-yard carry for an Auburn running back.
Well, you talk about what we talked earlier about the difference of good backs and great backs not going down. That's another sign of a good back right there. When Beasley saw that hole, he planted that right foot and just dove right up through it and picked up that 16 yards. That's what you want your back to have. Great vision going into the hole. Once he gets that football, look for the seam, and oftentimes it's backside of the play.
He's a yard away from a 100-yard day. And he has it now, and a touchdown.
Well, there's another one of those great cuts. Untouched going through there. When you see that little seam, this play is designed as a seven-hole play. It's going to go off tackle to the outside, and watch when he plants it. Right here, it comes in there, bam, right there. He sees that seam. It's backside a little bit, and he goes in untouched.
Funny how this game is, though. That's the first time we've seen the Ole Miss defense appear to be tired and out of it. And it comes after that final turnover committed by Head at a time when they felt they were a stone's throw from making it a 3-point game. Fred Beasley quietly going about 114 yards and 2 touchdowns today. That's his 4th touchdown of the year.
From stock car racing to races on ice, Mobil 1 has never let a driver down. From 35 degrees below to 135 above, Mobil 1 has never failed. No wonder every Corvette, Viper, and Porsche comes filled with Mobil 1. Of all the oils in the world, there isn't one that outperforms Mobil 1. At Mobil, we've been changing oil for over 125 years.
Life. It's not the sort of thing that shuts down at 5. So at Bell South, we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you ever need to reach us, just give us a call. Anytime. Bell South, it's all here.
It's not sleepy time down south anymore. From Kentucky to the Gulf Coast, from Texas to the Carolinas, business is growing and investment opportunities are springing up right in our own backyard. Morgan Keegan, the South's premier investment firm, brings information on all these opportunities to your doorstep. They find regional stocks and bonds that are tomorrow's blue chips. That's why smart Southerners turn to Morgan Keegan for investment advice. Morgan Keegan, capital for the South.
Advance Auto Parts presents part number 7, the nose. The nose of an Advance Auto Parts staffer can sniff out even unusual automotive problems.
My car is making a smell.
The nose springs into action, analyzing until the problem is rooted out.
Your valve cover gasket is leaking oil onto your manifold.
It's all part of the job. At Advance Auto Parts, we're not afraid of getting a little dirt under part number 82. Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
SEC football is brought to you in part by Advance Auto Parts. The best part is our people.
It has been a scoring fest this afternoon. Auburn 45, Ole Miss 28. Exactly 4 minutes remain. But Tommy Tuberville's team gamely fighting back at every opportunity. But as the old saying goes, fatigue could make cowards of us all. And 1.5 versus 2.5 players came into play there, didn't it?
Certainly did. I thought a little bit about that shirt that Bob Kessling had on the sideline, one step at a time. They took a big step today. They played nose to nose with Auburn for almost 3 quarters. And then before they got tired, you say 1.5 to 2.5. Tommy Tuberville said, I only have 1.5 players at each position. I need 2.5 to compete.
Terry Bowden will tell you that he lacks seniors even now due to the probationary measures that they faced upon his arrival at the most beautiful village on the plains. And Brother Bill Oliver's team, their linebackers outstanding, but 28 points by this Ole Miss team. The most surrendered by an Auburn club this year. They had pitched a couple of shutouts. Coming into today's game. Head stays in, and it's the delay up the middle. Not much room for Artie Moore. Some of the Auburn backups now making their way into the game. Marcus Washington, an outside linebacker from Auburn, Alabama. And on that tackle.
And Tim, as I look at this Auburn defense, they're a much better defense than they were last year. You remember last year we talked that they only had, I believe, 7 interceptions all year long. They are a much, much better football team.
Incomplete. Head was looking for the safety valve. But for the Rebels, I mean, you can say they're fatigued, and yes, they were defensively in that last sequence after the fumble by Paul Head in the prior series. But truthfully, were it not for those mistakes, and some of them were very big, both in the first half and second half, they may be not only in this game, but in fact leading this game.
Well, I think it's almost like it's a benchmark. You know you can play against a top-ranked team like Auburn. They played them head-to-head, nose-to-nose for a long time. Their offensive line has given Head a lot of time. They played well.
Pass is caught by Fisher just shy of the 30-yard line. Antoine Nolan was there. Let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Ole Miss Rebels. They go to Vanderbilt, and as you know, that defense Woody Woodenhofer has is no slouch. They play Alabama later today. Tennessee, that game is in Memphis, a Thursday night game. Then they play Arkansas, LSU, Georgia, and Mississippi State. A very difficult way to close it out, but I think they're going to be a team that could spoil it for one of the favorites in the West, be it Alabama, LSU, or Auburn. Ending in the game, and on 4th down, Ole Miss manages a first down. Artie Moore carries off the right side.
Well, if they can drive the length of the field here and score and go and lose this football game by only 10 points, 45 to 35, then they've accomplished something. As I said, it's a benchmark. It tells that they can play. It gives Tommy Tuberville some things to go on, saying, hey guys, listen, this is a top-ranked team. This Auburn team, you're talking about a team that's in the hunt in the national rankings, and they competed against them very, very well.
1st and 10 at 32. steps up with the time and finds Rome. He had a very difficult start today. It's good for him to have some positive things happen here in the second half. 12-yard pickup for Andre Rome.
Boy, it looks as if he just zeroed in on Rome the whole time. See, he's looking at him, waiting for him to clear, and gives him the football.
It's pretty obvious that Paul Head's arm strength has improved in the last year or so. He's done a lot to improve that aspect of his abilities at the quarterback spot.
But you mentioned something earlier. You have got to be able to run in the SEC. You just can't keep on relying on the pass.
There's Fisher right in the middle of the field and down to the 32-yard line of Auburn. Obviously, they're playing soft along the perimeter, and Head has taken what has been given to him by Bill Oliver's defense.
But they're not playing soft up front. Don't you know those defensive linemen are flat out coming?
Clock stops as the chains move, and now it starts up again. 1:35 remaining. You can bet the Rebels want to punch one more in before this day is done. Blitz coming, flags down. And a pretty good move by Artie Moore, backing in to the 30-yard line in the arms of Martavius Houston. That's good news that he's back in the ball game.
I think someone lined up. Yeah, that's the call right there. Lined up in the neutral zone. Those big defensive linemen, they know right now that you're going to pass. It's sack time. So what you do is you line up. You're trying to get every inch you can.
On defense, 5-yard penalty. Still, first down.
As soon as they mark it and the clock restarts, they'll snap. Out of the shotgun formation. First down and 5. After the penalty.
I got to ask you one quick thing that's been burning on me. Now, when Coach Vaught was here, did you tell me that he plays better than his age in golf?
He said he better. Markers fly again. I think the cadence again of Paul Head caused that encroachment. Yeah, if you're 87 years old, you had better shoot your age. Right?
I think that's true.
Some of the stories involving Johnny Vaught. Here comes the call from Ron Gilbert.
Ball before the snap. Ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So that backs him up. It's 1st and 10. So a false start rather than encroachment. Look at that. Terry Bowden among some of the big ones. Robert Nealand. And of course Bill Battle, who later coached at Tennessee. Even with that kind of record, though, he couldn't satisfy them in Knoxville. Head steps up in the pocket. Looking for Fisher. Full extension by Taboris, but he couldn't reel it in at the 18-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you this, Terry Bowden certainly has satisfied him at Auburn, because he came in under unbelievable situations. He just had nobody. I mean, there was nothing to play for. And you turn around and say, oh, those players, they're not going to play for anything. And what an outstanding term he has had there. That first year, he was incredible.
He's used it as a rallying cry, and to some extent, Tommy Tuberville in a very similar position, an opportunity to take over a program that's in somewhat disarray and under probationary measures by the NCAA, but it also gives you time to solidify what you want to accomplish with your program. Head's out pattern is over the head of Taboris Fisher. Let's take a look at our players of the game. It should come as no surprise to anyone at Auburn that Damian Craig is the man. 13 for 24, 247 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did have the 1 interception. And Chris Mangum, his 6 receptions, 5 of them in the second half, really helped keep Ole Miss in this game in the second half.
Yeah, it was a different. They made great adjustments at halftime. They went back to what they knew would work. Went back to Mangum, went back to Fisher. They had success.
And a reminder, as part of our Players of the Game scholarship program, Jefferson Pilot Sports will donate $2,000 to the Southeastern Conference to be distributed among its member institutions. 3rd down and 10.
38 seconds left.
Hurd is in the game in a wide receiver spot, flanked to the bottom of your screen. Jason Gray is locked up with him man-to-man.
Well, if you know they're man-to-man, go to him. Throw it deep.
And he's looking for him. Actually, that's Bilbrew down there. A little short, and it's picked off by Nolan. Antoine Nolan with the interception, his second of the day. Jason Bray was back there with him, and he has 4 interceptions on the year. So the Auburn secondary has really made a difference in this game today, and Ole Miss has turned it over 4 more times than Auburn. Coming in today, Auburn was number 2 in the nation in takeaways, only to Texas with 9. Now they have 15. They've had 4 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries, and a sack today.
Well, you see the way he looked at his wide receiver. He just zeroed in on him. He looked off just a little bit, but he had already made the strong safety commit that way. So you got to look around out there. You got to take those eyes off that wide receiver. Give somebody else a little bit of a look.
John Cooley, the quarterback, senior from Sarasota's C. Mooney High School, pitches it to Markeith Cooper, and that should do it. Terry Bowden's team moves to 3-0, but more importantly 1-0 in the conference, and a big one coming up next week against the LSU Tigers.
Oh, absolutely a big one. From now on, it's all for keeps.
But as you said, perhaps a benchmark game for this Tommy Tuberville-led Ole Miss Rebel program.
It certainly is, and very cordial greeting here, a great greeting between 2 friends.
Get ready. These 2 guys are going to do a lot of great things for these institutions of higher learning in the future.
The Outback is all Madden country, and out